I do this for real. This is not for cloud. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. Live from the cosmos. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. Back to the light, ultralight beaming, I'm passing the sky. The laws of the universe, I do know my rights. Manifestation, I see changes in my life. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. Live from the cosmos. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. Back to the light, ultralight beaming, I'm passing the sky. The laws of the universe, I do know my rights. Manifestation, I see changes in my life. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. Live from the cosmos. High frequencies of sound. It's up in the store. Ain't no coming down. Back to the light, ultralight beaming, I'm passing the sky. The laws of the universe, I do know my rights. Manifestation, I see changes in my life.
Peace.
Family, peace.
Peace, fam.
Much gratitude once again for the support. We are here, Shadowwork Sundays, big energy, big healing energy, big love energy, big soul tribe energy. Today we actually have a special guest, Siobhan, Sun Goddess, Light Warrior, 9/11.
In the building.
I say so much gratitude to you first and foremost, Goddess, for joining us today.
Yes, indeed, man. I show so much gratitude to both of y'all for giving out the opportunity to slide onto it.
It's our pleasure.
So it comes all together.
I say. Yeah, so today we're actually talking about stepping out your comfort zone. You know, the power of stepping out, stepping out your comfort zone, and what are the things that are actually get you stuck in your comfort zone? What are the things that created the comfort zone? What is a comfort zone? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna dig deep on all that. So we're gonna start it off with the heart chakra receiving bowl. Get us a line, open our heart space. Once again, much gratitude, family. I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna scoop this over. All right. I say.
Hey.
Once again, much gratitude. So, let's talk about it, Siobhan. You know, we actually talked on the phone. And you were speaking about getting out of your comfort zone, and you are on your purpose, on your mission. You know, you're realizing certain parts of yourself, but there's a part of you that's like, I don't really know, but I know, and so it's a battle. And so part of what you want to do is do your podcast vibes, you know, and speak your truth. And so we are here today. So if you want to just start it off and just speak to the people just about your perspective and just, you know, why are we even speaking about this subject today? Because you definitely inspired this subject.
Yeah, speaking of this moment today because I go through those moments because when it comes to stepping our comfort zone. It could be so hard, it could be so tough because we're so scared. We step in a different element because we so stuck into this comfort zone. So just living this life, living the same
Sure.
routine level, especially when you're type to live a certain routine. And that was a type. I was a type to run that with. So okay, I'm a type to run this. Oh, I'm a shower run this time. I'm gonna do this built off of living off a routine area. So when we so stuck on onto that aspect, and so drawn with to it, it's a place to where it's like opportunities drawn to you, and like changes to a point to where you have the moments, you don't know how to adapt to it. Okay, so drawn and you
Sure.
so stuck to the moments. It could
That's
be
a
it,
fact.
it could be extremely tough.
Right, right.
But so you so used to being in that comfort zone, so called comfort zone. You comfortable. Get a little nervous when you get too comfortable. Get a little nervous. And I can say that. Get a little nervous when you get too much in your comfort zone. You gotta get a little nervous a little bit because like you don't want to get too much in your comfort zone.
Hmm.
You don't like to be too much in your comfort zone like that. Cause when it's like when you get drawn to it like that, you don't know how to get out of it, and you get stuck. You get stuck.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you get glued. You don't know
I say.
how much the
You
energy.
get so comfy, you don't want to move from there. It's like getting in your favorite lazy boy chair. It's like, oh, I don't even want to get up out of this. Like, I'm good right here.
Yeah,
But at the
Yeah.
same time, you're
Hey,
not comfortable because it's like whenever you being still so long. So if you still so long, right, what happens? Something on your body falls asleep. You see what
not
I'm
even
saying? And
falls
then that's
asleep. You know, from people in the hospital, you can start getting sores and your skin can start to
you see what I'm
evaporate
saying
literally
from
if you
just being in that comfortable place. So let's
moving this
um
life.
let's let's go and break down the definition and the etymology.
yes,
Um,
Let's get it.
yes, sir.
So the definition of comfort, we're going to define comfort zone. So we're going to start with the definition of comfort. We're going to get a definition for comfort and for zone. So the definition for comfort is first definition is a state of physical ease and freedom from pain or constraint. So
hmm,
running it back one more time, comfort is defined as a state of physical ease and freedom from pain or constraint. Then the second definition that's given is the easing or alleviation of a person's feelings of grief or distress. I'm
hmm,
running it back one more time for clarification. The easing or alleviation of a person's feelings of grief or distress. So that's what
hmm,
comfort is defined as. So we can go and get the definition for zone because we're talking about comfort zone.
hmm,
So zone is defined as an area or stretch of land having a particular characteristic, purpose, or use, or subject to particular
hmm,
restrictions. And then
hmm.
also a second definition given is an encircling band or stripe of distinctive color. It's a little different, but we'll stick with the first one. An area or stretch of land having a particular characteristic. So that's deep because we know
That
you
is deep.
everybody's comfort zone has particular characteristics. There's certain aspects of where you feel comfortable and where you don't. So
And we're
uh,
gonna break down why and what influenced those comfort
yes,
zones.
sir. Let's get
You
it.
know, so I think before we even go and dive deep into it, first I want to ask a question. You know, or not even ask a question, but make a statement. Life begins at the end of our comfort zone. So
I'll show you.
that is the original statement. And
Yeah,
so for some reason I have been inspired to watch these movies on Shadowwork Sundays. And so I already have the movie. It'll come to me, and and then I watch it. So the movie this time was a movie called Bubble Boy. Um, and this movie, it pertains so much to what we're talking about because this kid was in a bubble his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he really they felt like if he got germs he would die. And this is what his mother told him. And she teach religious and she teach so many different things. Everything that he believed was based off of what she told him. So he didn't even know what the real world like was in a sense. It was only based off of what she said. His identity was based off of her. And so
Mm,
in return, she was able to keep him trapped in this bubble. for all this time, you know, and so he ended up he learned how to play the guitar, he played the game, he did all type of things. So he learned how to be comfortable inside this bubble to the point where it was his life. You know what I'm saying? Like he was cool with it. You know what I mean? He felt like he was living life. You know, until he got to a point where he was like, I feel like I'm missing everything. I mean, I feel like I have everything except a woman, which he was seeing a girl. It was a girl he kept seeing outside, been seeing her since he was young, and he was low key falling in love with the girl from the window. You know what I'm saying? Just watching her life, and then they start having a relationship. You know, and kicking it in. Whatever point is that at the end of the movie, he opened up the bubble. You know what I'm saying? And he traveled many miles, and he had never been outside, and traveled many miles and across the whole, you know, really from one side of the states to another because of love. You know what I'm saying? And so, and at that moment, his mother told him that since 4 years old, you know, you were able to go outside without this bubble, but she continued to lie and continue to manipulate. So we're going to talk about the infiltration that happens that actually puts us in the comfort zone. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
I say,
11:11. So right on divine timing.
I say,
and I like how you started this episode off with that because Bubble Boy, I've definitely seen it myself. Classic movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I never would have seen it from that perspective. To be honest, it's been a while, so I haven't been in this consciousness since I've seen it.
right.
But I feel like the movie, and you also highlighted a major aspect of the comfort zone, which is something that can be handed down by our parents. And a lot of the times that comfort zone is handed down because they're trying to protect you from the world. They know that the world is a dog eat dog place. They know what goes on in the world. So, as and I'm a parent as well. I have a 5-year-old daughter. So I can relate to this because in a lot of aspects, you try to shield your child a little bit from the world while also knowing that you really can't do that. So I feel like it's really deep, that movie as an example, because this is an instance where um, the mother was literally passing down a fear of life, before he even got the chance to understand what life was. And I feel like that's
Man,
such a reflection of what a lot of us deal with, in real life. And a lot of us don't even know that that's the case. A lot of us really don't even know that we're in that bubble that Bubble Boy is in until
man,
we're met with the energy that makes us want to come out of that bubble. So I love that example. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but it's such a good example of how when we come into the world, there's kind of a bubble of fear and limitation that's already created for us that our parents are just waiting to put us in. And
exactly.
at the end of the day, like you said, homie, there was no indication from his mother that said, "Hey, there's this outside world that's okay for you to explore." He had to come to that awareness himself.
Mhm.
He had to have the initiative to want to get out that bubble. So I feel like that's also, a good example of life where you may be given this bubble of fear, but it's up to you to break up out of it and to see the necessity to break up out of it. So I love the fact that you mentioned that movie at the top of this episode because
And then look, the necessity is love,
yes,
self love.
because that's what
You
motivated
know,
him to get out the bubble, essentially.
exactly. You know, so it's not just about love for others, but love for self, which is going to project love for others.
I'll show you.
So he ended up loving himself so much, he didn't care what his mama said no more.
Yeah.
You
It
know what I'm
wasn't even a
saying?
thought to him. It was just like, I don't know what she's talking about.
Hey,
But I
now I feel like I'm out. I never heard of the other movie at all. So y'all breaking some shit down. I ain't even know.
this is an old movie too. This is like
But
a
Yeah, it's like 2001, I think.
what's the name of the movie again?
Bubble Boy.
Bubble,
But okay,
Yeah.
I want to type that
It-
one in. I'm gonna watch that one.
it's one of them germaphobe bubbles that somebody will be in because they're not ready to handle the adversity. I guess we could say of the world.
Yeah,
So
right?
I shade.
But it was all an illusion.
yeah,
Yep.
You know. Um. So so let's see. So so I do have a question here. Is your comfort zone based off of circumstance? Um. And we can kind of speak on that for a minute.
yeah,
You know. I know for me, my comfort zone was definitely based off of circumstance. You know what I'm saying? In many aspects, because I created this cool nature about myself that really hid many parts of me, because the people that I was around didn't respect what feelings really were.
The
Um,
nonchalantness.
exactly. So
Hmm.
yeah. So I became this person that was just like, yeah, like that, like you said, like, um, and that really, um, that really controlled my life. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like I was like being broke, but I was poor in the area of of self love, really, or self awareness. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Because like we say, we like we say, rich in the spirit. You know, well, my spirit was broken, due to that, due to circumstance. You see what I'm saying? So I created a comfort zone. You know what I'm saying, because of the
See.
brokenness. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that as adults. You know what I'm saying? Say you got bills, you got whatever, and then you end up doing certain things. Now it's a difference between self love and a comfort zone. You know, a comfort zone is something that we stay in for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, you know what I'm saying? Because we have to comfort ourselves. I'm this that I don't want to get that misunderstood. You know, we must love ourselves. You see what I'm saying? But those comfort zones are based off of triggers.
Yeah.
These are areas where we actually put our wall up, and then we started to fall in love with that room. And this room was really a sacred place for me to cry and run away and feel safe. And I put a
Fact.
house, I put a TV in there, a flat screen. I
Yeah.
put a nice, you know what I'm saying, a nice couch in there. I got my favorite, you know, I didn't set this room up and made it a chill spot when it really was a survival place. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Fact.
Another aspect, we come into the world in a bubble while being carried in our mother's womb for 9 months.
Shay. Deep.
I say that is very powerful. That is very powerful because
Very.
that is a birth. You see what I'm saying? And so love, that was a new life. You know what I'm saying? Like he was going to moving into a new life. Literally, he had a whole new life. He got married. He was living free. So like that is beautiful.
And I'm
That
not
that's
gonna I'm not gonna lie. Logical shout out to you because and before I even say this, I want to say ashe and gratitude to the family in the building, to the Shadow Work Sunday veterans who've been here since day one. I want to say much gratitude for you even being here because this is why we're able to do this. So I share to y'all first and foremost. But I want to thank Logical for mentioning that because I've been trying to get this thought together for the last like 3 minutes, and she helped me do that with this comment. And that's that,
Yeah.
when we're coming into this
Yeah.
spiritual life and into this new consciousness, you know, we are obviously we're in a 3D world. We're existing now, um, on the 3D plane, on what we call the earth plane. So when
Yeah.
we're coming into this shadow work and we're coming into this new consciousness, we are having to leave now the third dimension and ascend to the higher dimensions, which is the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, and as Logical mentioned, when we're in our mother's womb, we're already outside of our comfort zone. We've left spirit now to incarnate on the third dimensional plane.
Yeah.
So now when we're coming into this new life of dealing with our shadow work, and activating our true God self, you have to completely leave the third dimension. That the third dimension, it is your comfort zone because that's where you exist at. That's all you know. So,
Yeah.
even when we're dealing with things like manifestation and making the unseen things seen, we're used to needing proof for things. We're used to having to see it to believe it. So some of these higher planes and higher dimensions of spirituality require you to forget all of that, and you have to leave that comfortability you know um of the third dimension to now ascend higher and abide by new rules, new laws, and a completely new identity. So it's like as we
Can
even
I be real with you, bro?
go ahead,
I
brother.
wouldn't even be here. And this
Come
is
on
to
now.
you too. You know, Siobhan, Sun Goddess. Man, like I had to do shadow work to even get on here and start doing the lives on Instagram.
Come
Yeah.
on now.
I wasn't comfortable, but my point is that cool thing again, it was affecting my spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able
Mm,
to be here and be able to be used by the spirit for shadow work Sundays if I was focused on being cool. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I wouldn't be able to do a song like Inner Child versus another type of record if I was focused on being cool.
Yeah.
This is about purpose. And I was actually losing my purpose and fighting against my purpose due to trying to be cool. And
Yeah,
then what is cool based off what standard? Then it gets technical by the influence of the psychological mind. Who am I being influenced by to want to be something like I'm not, but I feel like I am based
That's
off
deep.
of the places that I come from.
And
yeah.
I feel like cool is really like you
I've been,
trying to
I've been
stay
off
under
the.
the radar. You
I,
know,
Exactly.
my apologies, God, to cut you off.
no.
Yeah, I've been off the moments. I've been in a place where I was in my childhood not being accepted. So we're not being accepted and stepping it. Well, it just looking different towards others. And any type of way I spoke on, it looked differently. Oh, you different, you this and that. And that's why became. That's why I started getting older. I'm like, okay,
You
it
like
took.
you like let me bring it down a notch so I can stay. Like I just said, the king cool is like kind of like you don't want to be noticed too much where people start going like, wait, what's up with you? You
I'm
know,
a, I
especially in
like
our culture.
I like
No,
to
because
be behind the scenes. I love to be behind the scenes when it comes to certain things.
Mhm.
But when it comes to stepping out my comfort zone, now I'm being brought to a place and now I need to step forward.
Yeah.
Now I don't need to be behind the scenes no more. Now Siobhan, stop stepping behind the scenes. Bring yourself forward.
Hmm.
Break yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't go off the experience that you went off as a childhood in the aspect. When it comes off at. So it's all
Can I
about moving forward when it comes to things.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, indeed.
So what inspired you, or what is inspiring you right now, this current moment, to step out of your comfort zone?
What's inspired? What's truly inspiring me? Like right now, as of right now, it's showing just having people around like by my side to have the like minded mindset.
I
And
say,
Soul tribe.
that's what a lot of moments involve me within situation. I've been through many spiritual awakenings. I went through a lot of process. I went through a lot of moments to where I thought I was slow as fuck. I went through so many moments to where my dad didn't love me. I went through a lot, different, little moments. But this moment right now, I feel like now really it's all on I. It's all about moving forward, and it's not what others want you to do. It's all about what you want to do within yourself
Mm-hmm.
I
and moving
say,
forward, and not listening too much. Yes, you gotta listen sometimes. Yeah, you gotta listen to where people saying. You gotta go on with it. Yeah, you gotta flow with it a little bit. But sometimes sometimes you gotta think about what's best for yourself.
Sure.
You can't go off too much of what people say. You gotta go off how
Self-preservation is key.
you gotta go
that's
off how
right.
you flow with it. So it's all about you trusting yourself, and that's the biggest test. Cause the biggest test is how you gonna flow. Are you gonna listen to this person, or are you gonna go off how you feel within your intuition
Exactly.
or your
Right.
instinct? How you feel within yourself? Fuck what everybody else say. How you feel within yourself, and that's the process I'm rolling is not listening too much to what everybody else got to say, just going off what I want to say, what my soul feel, what
Mhm.
I want to do, while helping others, not being selfish, but just going off that flow.
And that's important.
No, it's
That,
beautiful. It's
that,
beautiful.
that's the biggest moment. Cause a lot of people get caught up to just digging in too much what that person want them to do, or that what their mama, daddy, or whatever they want them to do. What you want to do? What you feel hardly?
Right,
What
right,
And I
right.
feel like that's a major level of self-confidence, to be honest. You know, a lot of people are a lot more comfortable with being told what to do versus telling others what to do. And not in a bossy mindset, but letting others know, what it is, how it's going to be for you in the interaction with that person, and what you're willing to deal with and what you're not.
hmm
We say all the time, we guys and goddesses, but you got to conduct yourself as such. A god isn't going to deal with certain things. A God is more inclined to tell you what he's going to do in relation to y'all than to be, to just acquiesce or go along with whatever you trying to do. And
Yeah,
I feel like that's a major aspect of your confidence in your God or goddess nature is to And me and King were having a private conversation the other day. It's something, he told me with the aspect of his shadow work. I let him know, regardless of how the situation seems, you've gotten more to gain by knowing who you are and not wavering for anyone or anybody, and asserting that in every moment. That's what a God does at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A God, like I said, a God is going to tell you what it is and what it ain't before you get the chance to do that, or a goddess. So I shaded that because I feel like that's that's part of stepping out of the comfort zone. A lot of the times we're comfortable with just being reactive, or with taking things as they are, and our godlike and goddess like nature sometimes requires us to step out that comfort zone and to really to say what it is, and to really stand on what you're willing to deal with and what you're not. So I shaded that.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
So
Great
let's
find.
dig a little deeper.
Let's dig deep.
Actually, before we go there, let's do the shadow of crystal.
So,
'Cause we definitely didn't do that at the beginning. Look, this is definitely season finale. This is the 9th episode, the ending of the second season. So we definitely lit.
season 2
And
finale vibes.
yes,
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 big
sir.
moves. Big
So
moves.
the Shadow Work Sunday crystal of the day is rainbow obsidian. I love obsidian, period. You know what I'm saying? Very protective crystal, but the
Yeah.
rainbow obsidian is for the heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? Very it's a very powerful healing crystal. So here we go.
Perfect.
Peace, family. We must get outside of our comfort zones, because outside our comfort zone is where we grow, and growth is where we elevate.
That's a fact. Getting out that comfort zone can really encourage personal growth. And a great stone for personal growth, in my opinion, is that rainbow obsidian. It really helps you tap in to what you need to do to grow, even getting out of your comfort zone.
Order now. Much gratitude, family.
Peace, peace, peace.
777. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know the vibes. I say.
He hit
So
on divine timing.
you know the vibes. We big 777 energy over here. Obviously 555 as well. But people don't know those are both healing numbers.
Yeah.
So
Those are numbers I've been hitting lately.
mhm.
555, 777, 1111. Those are numbers I've been hitting constantly. And 999, even 911. But those are most numbers when it coming to transitioning into a whole different level. It's breaking the old.
Exactly.
You're nine, you just transitioning, just breaking the old process, breaking it something new.
And this
Very
episode 9. So you on her with episode 9. You know
And I
what
was
I'm
gonna say,
saying?
and I shared this with King a while ago. 777 to me is deep. So 777 is so powerful to me. I tatted it to my face. And 777, one aspect of it that I told King about a while ago is that it has to do with generational healing and generational clearing. So
wow.
you as a melanated being, if you dedicate your life to healing not only yourself but your generational line, that energy carries 7 years into the past as well as 7 years into the future, which you be in the middle 7. So 777 is a code, so to speak, for generational healing, and you being a major factor to kind of restoring the order to your family line in the physical. So I
Yes,
stay to the 777. That's a like King said, that's a big vibe for us. We really connect on that 777.
I love how you explained it. You explained it perfectly.
And that's only one aspect of that frequency. These numbers, they have multiple frequencies. So
I
Yeah.
say.
that's one aspect of that frequency that is personal to me, because that's a lot of what I do is to aid in that generational healing, man, and to help our people heal through my specific line. So I
Hey,
say
them numbers hit in quickly too. And numbers tell a lot. So even
we
just
gotta we gotta have a whole episode on the numbers, man,
a
because yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
you touch a lot of people on the numbers.
hmm Numbers are, I tell people,
That's a great way to
not,
explain it.
no,
Everybody has their own ways to explain things.
numbers are one of the only symbols that are universal to all cultures. A one is a one, and every culture is and a two is a two. So if the divine were to reach out via anything or any symbol, it would more than likely be numbers because they're so universally understood, and that's the easiest way to
I
connect the
say,
dots for a lot of people.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and letters are numbers.
Yeah.
exactly.
Amen.
Every letter corresponds to a number. So
Yeah. But so let's dig a little deeper. So podcast, not podcast.
not a
I
vibes.
say.
The vibes.
So brain science teaches that the human brain is developed under the impact of the environment. Therefore, our comfort zone is a coping mechanism based off of what we have been provided. This is our inner child.
Hmm.
Our inner child is actually where we created our first comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so it's deep because so I'm trying to get to so a doctor named Daniel Siegel says that children use their mature circuit of the adult brain to regulate its immature unregulated circuits, meaning that when our parents show us love, peace, we download that into our nervous system, and then this
Mhm.
subconsciously is projected throughout our life. You see what I'm saying? So just the psychological and the way that it really gets almost like embedded into us, um these comfort zones based off of trauma, that we actually went through with our parents, or with even if it's a school fight, or you got jumped as a child, or all these type of things, and now you live in a world. It's kind of like Julio when he had the 9/11 situation, and now he kind of that's something that he actually got to live with, and so these type of things are actually downloaded to us deep into our nervous system, to our subconscious. And so I feel like that's where we actually create these comfort zones,
Hmm.
in that place, and due to that, what I mean, due to what's going
Sure.
on.
Yes, indeed. Everything stems from the childhood.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize how much stems, but everything stems from the childhood. Whatever we went through, like trauma wise, if you haven't healed from it, if you haven't went through your shadow work, it's going to build up to your
Right.
adulthood, and then in a way you're gonna wonder why. You're gonna wonder why you went through this moments, or why you went through this. It's because it's what you went through within your childhood. But a lot of individuals are afraid to stem back that far,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't know the process, and that's what becomes scary.
Hmm.
Come to shadow work, because you have to relive every moment,
Yeah. A
and
lot of people don't want to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta relive every moment. You gotta relive every feeling. You gotta relive every emotion. Every emotion
I say.
you
You know,
you gotta
facts.
you gotta go through it. You have to feel the emotion just to, and you have the emotions are given to you for you to release. And when it comes to a lot of emotion we feel, the emotion will could just randomly come down. Even if you thought you let it go, you thought that was it, they always gonna come back up.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
deep because we mentioned this on the podcast before. And I got this from a book that I have called "The Nine Eyes of Light," and it's a book that I talk about this a lot with King. It's a book that details the nine aspects of the soul, or the nine lenses of consciousness that the Egyptians or the people of Kemet believed in, that you experience life through. And in the book, they have a whole chapter about shadow work, and just like what you spoke on, they say that you have to allow your negative experiences or these traumas to replay in your mind and go by like a parade, where you simply sit and you watch them go by as a parade, and you don't take on the same position you did before, where you're the victim of the situation. Now you take on the conscious observer, where you're just there to observe it. You're there to see exactly what it was that happened to you, and the disposition or the mood or the mindset that it put you in after it happening. And they said this was important because this allowed you to release it, to a lot, like you said, some guys, a lot of times people don't want to look back on but we're being honest, some of these memories that people have are super traumatic, whether this be, you could have seen somebody die in front of you, or you could have been physically abused to a point that you don't even want to recount. But there's a uh, an advantage in doing so because it allows you to see it happening, and instead of you being involved in it as the victim and the one, you know, who was perpetrated against, now you can just see it as an observer and say like, ah, okay, like I could see how this would make me feel this way, and from this point, you know, I've been a little bit more angry, a little bit more depressed, and you release it, and you release it from your identity, and you allow it to pass out of um, you know, your experience, I guess, so to speak. And I feel like,
Not,
and 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 they even said that, you know, before you do this, you know, a lot of people, we're in the age and in the culture where people think that, you know, the psychological aspects to life aren't that important. It's like, you know, trauma is just whatever, you know, like I've been through trauma, cool, whatever. But you know, the people of Kemet or the ancient Egyptians, they were under the impression, not the impression, but they had a knowledge that some of these traumatic events actually stored as small black dots along your spine, and that unless you dealt with them, those black dots would web out into your chakras and they will cause distortions in your perception. So, you know, for the Egyptians, it was of the utmost importance to release these things because it was a part of your physical body, you know,
Mm,
and if you want to take it even deeper, you can get diseases off of that. You know, those distortions
yes.
can cause your mind to create diseases in the body. So to them, this was like one of the most important things that you could do was to be able to assess where you got certain traumas from, and then take yourself. And me and King talk about this a lot, taking yourself back in memory, you know, to not only see it, but to be there, to be in the midst of it and feel what you felt.
yeah,
So I feel like it's really, not to get long winded, but I feel like it's really important what you just mentioned because you have to do that. You have to, like you said, you have to see it again. You have to feel it again. You got to face it for you
yeah,
to release it. And until you face it, you can't release it. You know, and that's why shadow work can be hard for a lot of people because they don't want to do that. And
yeah,
um,
Can I be real? I just want to say this.
go ahead. I'm getting long
And
winded. So
yes,
this
sir.
ain't this ain't stepping on toes. It's just I like to clear the air and bring the balance. I want to make this clear. Anything that Julio just said is me and Julio. Is Siobhan, is all of us.
anyone and everyone.
Um, because sometimes it can come off as if like we just up here giving information on some like shadow work ain't just real every day. Um, we have to have we we have each other shadow work Sundays behind the scenes. Me and Julio calling each other like, "Yo, bro, I need to talk to you." You know what I'm saying? Man to man, brother to brother, God to God. And you know that you have someone that actually is going to give balanced information. You know,
And
and that's
not to cut you off. I'm glad you spoke on that, brother, because and I just put that on my story shortly before we got on here on Instagram that, you know, Shadow Work Sundays is cool. What we do here is cool every Sunday. You know, we come in here, we on this cool looking podcast. We got the backgrounds, the colors, but I want to stress to people, man, family. I'm doing shadow work every second of the day, every day of the
facts.
week. It doesn't stop, and
Uh,
it's solely because I've acknowledged and I know that this shadow work is the highest undertaking that I can engage in right now.
yeah,
That is,
and then the whole aspect
yeah,
talking about. I'm
yeah.
you off guard, but
No, go ahead.
it's a movie called Soul.
Oh yeah, come on now. I love that movie. The
So
Pixar joint.
I want to bring it. I want to bring it. I want to bring it back up because I just started. I watched it like a few days ago.
I watched that on LSD for the first time, and
Yeah, it has so much. So
it was
many.
more than I could handle at the time.
Yeah. So it's like damn. It's like you had so many understanding points will come to that movie. Soul when they speak on it, how like how mention him go through that whole process.
Yeah.
And went to number 38, whatever hell that number his name was. And he went through his whole process and went through his whole life. How he went through. He was like, damn, that's how it was. It was like, yeah,
Listen, I watched that movie the first time on psychedelics, and I feel like I wasn't ready because I cried a couple times. You know, I'm not gonna lie, the
man,
psychedelics will get you in super shadow work mode. So I cried a couple times because of the way I felt it was speaking to me, and I had
yeah,
to watch it 2 times after that just to really like tap in. Yeah, that movie was
Question:
heavy. Go
It's
ahead, brother.
sold with the blue people. They blue, right?
Yeah, and
Like a light blue.
but
and
like,
it's the dude who's doing
white
jazz and
psycho,
piano.
Yeah,
Just
that's deep.
like
See,
You gotta watch that, brother. If you ever
so
watched it,
no,
you have to
no.
watch
So
that.
so I think I watched it. So I think I fell asleep on it, truthfully. But I remember a part. The last part I remember is they was they was young and they was going through something really a portal. And they was going to Earth. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I guess
Yes,
they was
same
accepted
movie.
to go to Earth.
They
But
you're
it
were.
was
Yep.
but to me it was dope because it was like I was looking at the soulmates go. It was almost like it was soulmates going. Me and my guys was like that's deep. Like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You
And what's
know.
interesting is in that, and I would say watch that movie on the mycelium technology, brother. It's gonna be different. You won't
'Cause
fall asleep. I promise you.
it's so many different pointers though.
And
It's so many different shit.
and I was gonna say a deep aspect of the movie. If anybody's seen it, remember they had to have an Earth badge or Earth pass to go to Earth.
Mhm.
They couldn't just jump into the portal. They like
Yeah.
in a part of the movie they tried to jump down to Earth and they just kept
Yeah.
sucking them back up because they didn't have this Earth
Mm.
pass.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because I just got
I
some.
got it. Why is it?
I just got
I
some
really
good. I
watch
just got some good information recently. Can we tap into those lectures? So I just got some good information from a good source that when we're actually in the astral before we incarnate, that there's something called womb doors, where there are doors that are literally portals to wombs for you to incarnate. And prior
It,
to you choose obviously who your parents or who your family is going to be, and then you
it.
access
Exactly.
oh
the
yeah.
womb via this portal. And that in the astral, things are different in the astral. Something that's taking place in waking life in 15 minutes could be a couple days in the astral. So
Mm-hmm.
your parents might be getting it on. Your parents might be doing that thing in the bedroom, and this portal opens for you that might for you be as in the fourth dimension be open for days. But to your parents, they're doing the thing about 30 minutes to an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, if you dig what I'm saying. But I think that movie was interesting because they highlight something that really happens where
They highlighted so much.
you have an awareness prior to and you're accessing these portals to come to this place for a higher purpose. So that
Yeah.
movie is deep, family. That yeah, like I
It,
said,
it's
I haven't
real.
watched it in a while, but I gotta rewatch that.
It's real deep. It's a great. It's a cartoon. Also by such and such.
It's a good vibe.
Dude, it's a little cartoon, and and what I got from it shows so much what a life purpose.
Yes.
A lot of people are so eager to fulfill their life purpose and want to fulfill this.
Mm.
And then what they still know so much within that movie is like go back to your childhood, and that stems with the same thing with kind of shadow work and digging with your inner child. Go back to your inner
Okay.
child, find something. What did you love to do?
And that's what he had to do in the movie. He had to go back to where he fell in love with
Yeah,
piano or jazz, and he had to follow it from there. So I
yeah,
I ain't
say,
gonna lie. I think that's deep. But like I said, I remember it a little bit, not really too much. So I'm not gonna go too deep. But from what y'all saying, all these movies, these animated movies, these inner child movies that are deep, they always touch on the passion, how
hmm
important connecting with your passion is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so to speak about the comfort zone, comfort to get out your comfort zone, you're going to have to be inspired by passion.
yeah,
It's going to have to be something that you love that's going to be able to drive you. You
like
know what I'm
Bubble
saying?
Boy.
Like, exactly like the spiritual path that we on, the only thing that drives us to actually elevating or even doing shadow work or even getting to this place that we had to pick up a book or do any type of studies is that we wanted to elevate.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So they say you got to stretch. You know what I'm saying? And so, stretching hurt, especially when you've been tight. Your muscles been tight. You ain't never stretched. Us as melanated people, we don't be. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about yoga, it took me a minute to really process that as a man, as a black man. I'm like, yoga? What you mean?
yeah,
Like,
good.
you know. But when you start realizing, like, oh, but bro, I try to do it and I'm doing it, and I'm at first like it really hurts. Sometimes it still hurt. You know what I'm saying? When I'm stretching and doing, so that stretching it hurts when you're not used to that. You all tight, you all tense. You know what I'm saying? But that comfort zone is loosening up. You
Yeah,
getting loose. You getting ready. You getting ready for life. You getting ready to live. You know what I'm saying? But you're too tight. You too you can't even you might supposed to be going to the gym every day and going to just shoot some hoops, but your body's so tight. And I'm gonna be even in a physical aspect because our comfort zone, our bodies put us in comfort zones too. You know what I'm saying? Truthfully, the things that we eat that actually affect our bodies in certain ways put us in comfort zones as well because certain foods shut us down. You know what I'm saying? Certain these diseases, certain mental things that we have these diseases in our mind that shut us down. You know, I can't do this. They said I can never do that. How am I gonna do this? Just do it. Just do
Overflow.
it.
And I'm not gonna lie, you just
You know?
activated. You just activated a vision slash analogy in my head, even saying
Mhm.
that. So right, imagine somebody came to you and they gave you a watermelon and they gave you a rubber band, and they said, "Yo, imagine the rubber band is about this big. They say in 30 days, I need you to fit this rubber band around this watermelon." What would you start doing? What would be your first inclination? Every day you're gonna be subtly stretching that rubber band. You like, I gotta get this rubber band
That'd be
to be
fun.
able to
But
fit
I can't
around this
pop it. I
watermelon.
can't pop it.
But you
So
can't pop it. So
Hell,
so every day you're gonna be like, okay, I need to stretch this rubber band slightly every day. I say that to say, we're in the 3D realm, we're in this earth life, and we expect life here to be peachy keen. We want the love and the light, we want the abundance, the joy, we want this and that, and we're here expecting that. But we don't realize, and King just brought up an excellent point. We don't realize that we're only here for the stretching. We're only here for every day for you to stretch that rubber band a little bit more, so that at the end of that 30 days, you can fit that rubber band around this watermelon, which is a lot more encompassing than just that rubber band was capable of to begin with. So it's
yeah.
like, every day as we wake up and we live and we go through our daily life, it's like we're expecting things to get more comfortable. We're expecting that our work is going to make it so things get a little bit easier. But you don't come here for things to get easier. And we talked about this a little bit in the last episode with Logical, with you setting the you making the game a little bit harder for yourself. But like King said, in my opinion, you're only here to stretch yourself. Like, you don't incarnate as a soul to experience an easy life. Otherwise, you wouldn't incarnate, because life in the spiritual realm as a soul is already very easy. Everything is there immediately for you to know and for you to manifest. That's not why you come here. You come here to be stretched. Some of us preordain the stretching to be a little bit more severe throughout the lifetime. And
Exactly.
that's where this comfort zone topic becomes very imperative, because you're not here to be in a comfort zone. You're here to be as uncomfortable as possible at any given moment and to be stretched. Because when you leave this body and when you leave this life, you're going to be able to look back and say, wow, my soul has just expanded from this to now I can fit a watermelon up under.
And
Up
look, and I
under.
want
Go
to
ahead.
say this, bro. Now, and I'm so grateful for patience, because I've been trying to make sure I remember this thing. Because you going in, you really got me lit. So
Yeah.
the cold thing about the rubber band example is, right, the only person that don't believe that this rubber band can fit over the watermelon is the person looking at it. But the
Come on
creator of the
now.
rubber band
Come on now.
know that that rubber band can fit over that
Come on.
watermelon.
Oh, you
You
just
feel me?
brought it home. The creator of the rubber band is looking like, I made that joint
I
sturdy. That
love,
that
Yeah,
joint, yeah. The creator's looking like all you need to do is stretch it 3 times a day,
yeah.
for 7 minutes at a time, and you'll be
That
good.
balance. You gotta have that in my eye.
Ah,
You
Shay,
know.
brother. That's a
yeah,
beautiful way to bring that analogy home.
aspect. I love any and everything, and just go through the process. It coming out of the comfort zone. I mean, and getting out of that stagnant energy. Cause when you think about stagnant, think about stay. You don't want to stay in nothing. When you get too comfortable, get nervous.
And if you think about it, what you just said,
Yeah, when you get
move,
comfortable,
move,
get
move,
nervous.
move,
You should
movement
be
is life. Movement is life, but absence of movement is death. So like when you cease moving and you cease to keep moving, you're looking at death and a ceasing of life. So yeah, I'm a big believer in movement is life. You
bad.
know,
That's
You
deep.
gotta move around, and I can say that because I want to try, to travel anywhere, have a travel anywhere since I was, a little kid. Travel around, so it's very important that anybody,
yeah.
get around to other, places. Comfort. Have a conversation with other little random people. You
Yeah.
and have the moment, travel to a different experience. Travel through, different
Put
areas
yourself out there.
matters. And the
Yeah.
moment matters because just getting out and it's getting out somewhere and not being in a place to where you feel so much alone.
And I'm big on it on a daily basis, because if you notice, especially in today's times, like life makes us real. I wouldn't even say awkward, but like, you know, like having a random conversation with a random person in the store or on the street, you have
Yeah,
a certain like I don't want to do this. And then unless they start saying the right thing, you like, okay, cool, I can do this. But you know, like you said, a lot of aspects of our life and of our reality are, you know, very comfort driven. And
yeah.
like you said, putting yourself out there, sparking up a conversation with a random person,
Uh,
you know, following an intuition, like all these things are stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, people don't realize that the slightest move, you just going and having the slightest conversation.
That's a
It
fact.
matter, you know, it could be the slightest, the smallest move, and
Yep.
even if just you just stepping out
The
and
butterfly effect, you
just
know,
But you know what? You know what it is that it's anxiety. You know
yeah.
yeah,
what I'm
hey,
saying? And so anxiety, I like so anxiety is actually created by our perspective of the world.
mm-hmm,
And that goes back to the inner child. Our perspective of the world is created by our environment, you know what I'm saying, and what was infiltrated on us and put on us. And then at this point, obviously, we have more power over our perspective of the world. But at the end of the day, every day we're still unlearning and relearning. You know,
yeah,
so then we deal with anxiety because basically, you all, as much as I love my brother, right? This happens to me all the time. I walk a lot. Me and my guys like to just walk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking. I'll see one of my people. Say, peace, God, peace, family. Sometimes I get a good response. Sometimes it be weird. And it's like, at the end of the day, when I get that weird response, I gotta low key be ready for whatever because I don't know what this is actually finna be.
yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? And so that's what the world we live in. You know, when you go places, you really don't know. You don't know who's pure and who's not pure, so you expect the best. You look at everybody as, you know what I'm saying, as life, but until otherwise, you know what I'm saying. And
Mhm.
so that's what creates that anxiety. Maybe your mother used to yell at you when you was a child. So people yelling at you you out at the grocery store when somebody yelling. This is triggering you.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? And now you got anxiety,
yeah,
So and the next person you talk to, now somebody might speak to you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Which you know, you might snap on them, you know.
And I'm not
And
gonna
so
lie, you know, not to cut you off. That's you know, being transparent. Anxiety is a big part of my journey and of my shadow work. You know,
yeah.
I've had I used to have this thing, you know, getting super real with y'all. I used to have this thing happen to me as a kid that got diagnosed as petite grand mal seizures. But what would happen was I would just zone out, you know, and it started with my teachers telling my mom, like, hey, he's just zoning out, but like not zoning out like a normal kid,
Let them tell her now you got autism.
but like it was like whatever was happening to me, I would blip out from this reality, and you could be talking to me and be like, Julio, and I would just be looking at you just like this, and I just wouldn't be there. And at the time, whatever, you know, it had concerned my mom and people around me so much that I ended up getting medicated for it. And
Yeah.
um, I remember back during that time, whatever it was that I was taking gave me a lot of
Oh,
anxiety. A lot of
a lot of
anxiety.
anxiety.
Ooh,
oh, they blocked me out. I got a
uh-oh.
little, yeah, it showed me out a little bit. Yeah, I got blocked out a little bit.
It's
It's
the
the
audio
audio
Yeah,
is
the
real
audio was
bad.
good. Yeah, it literally my
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think she went out, came back in.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll wait for her to get back in, but you know, anxiety is a real thing, and it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. You know, so it's a voice in your mind that you got to quiet, essentially. That you know, like King said, it has a very specific view of the world, and it doesn't want anything to pop that bubble. So anxiety is very real, you know, and it's through the journey of shadow work that, you know, and now my anxiety is it's night and day to what it used to be, strictly from dealing with my shadow work and tapping in with my inner child. So
Exactly.
you know, anxiety, but I can tell you, anxiety can be crippling, man. Anxiety can follow you around every step of the day, you know, and really motivate a lot of your decisions. But you know, when you engage in that shadow work, it really helps with that, man. And you know, I for one, I know how real anxiety is, you know, so yeah, I share to anybody who deals with anxiety and you know your battle with it, because that's not something we talk about a lot in the community or in the culture.
No.
And you know, anxiety is actually crippling and plaguing a lot of our people. You know, you can get anxiety from a lot of things, and you know, PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, things of that nature that can cause anxiety.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I battle with PTSD. I still not now at this level as it's on a better level, but just where I grew up and places I come from, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that's why I even have like the protective aspect that I do of my
Mm,
family and my God. It's like because of seeing the things I've seen, losing people that I love, you know what I'm saying, to murder, you know what I'm saying, and things of that sort. So and to death, to dying, and I'm saying on both sides, people in prison and on the other side. But um, yeah, that's deep that you speak on that. And what's so funny is that when I spoke about that brain doctor, I was actually watching a video on what they so-called call ADHD. I
mm,
don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like how Kanye West said it's a superpower. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? We just don't know how to channel it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
And
deep because, not to cut you off, even what I just spoke on that I had was diagnosed as petite grandma seizures. I ended up linking with a couple of brothers, one specifically at Howard or my school, undergrad school that I really connected with, and he told me he had the exact same thing. It's trippy how the universe works, family. When I was at Howard, I didn't know this brother at all from a can of paint. And I don't know if we saw each other tweet something, but on this same night, me and him tweeted each other the same exact thing, word for word, at the same minute, where we said we should start a group for like-minded people. And instantly, I knew there was something deeper there. And he revealed to me that what I just explained, what was called petite grandma seizures that I dealt with, he had dealt with as a kid as well, but he didn't get treated for it. He was never taken to the medical community for it, and that brother right now is doing just fine. He's doing multi-million commercial real estate deals, actually, and it just showed me that, what was happening to me was deeper than anything medical could have, diagnosed. And, the anxiety I got from it was only because that somebody tried to treat it as a problem when it really wasn't a problem.
they turned your life into mistakes.
Exactly.
Your normal actions, your freedom. You see what I'm saying? They imprisoned you.
And it was like, in my
They
mind, it was
imprisoned.
just like, oh, what's happening to you? This shouldn't be happening to somebody. So for me, it was just like, oh, wait, and I've got a lot of downloads and information on what was happening to me then. And I truly believe I was, I was somewhere else. And a couple of times I remember being taught by beings, wherever I was going, but very spotty memories. And like I said, something that for me that got treated and gave me anxiety, for another, they kept as an experience. I see family tapping in with that 777 energy.
Yeah, going
Yeah,
hard. Yeah,
Tapping
going
in
hard.
with me. Great vibes. Y'all on the roll. I know I just slid in. My phone was fucking up a little bit. It was tapping me out.
now
I
you
drew
know
a little bit, but I'm back in. I'm back at.
that
Yes,
just that,
sir.
that just means we revealing some things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Maybe,
indeed.
Yeah,
We
we in here.
too deep for one. Damn.
yeah, too deep for
Love
the
it though.
two.
That mean we talk some shit.
No
Because
cap.
what people don't know is I had a guy on my Instagram. He actually gonna be a guest at one point. Seven Circles, really rock with him, and he was like he posted my TikTok. He posted one of the video about what was it about Inside Out, the movie. And
Okay.
so he posted on his TikTok, and he was like, bro, they muting it. And
Oh,
I
what?
say,
I,
bro, and then I'm sorry, what you say?
I'm sorry. My apologies, but I
Oh, you
literally
good?
just seen that before we got on. I seen I seen his name.
Oh yeah, okay, for sure. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, yeah. Tap in with him.
Trying to cut this shit out.
So now 7 circles.
That's starting to stay
Yep. So
They know what
so
they know what they be doing. They probably they see the upload. They listen to it real quick.
he
They're like,
was
oh no.
he was asking me. He was like, "What is it, bro? Y'all ain't really talking about nothing against the government, like against their agenda." I say, actually, it is. I said, if our people heal, they elevate. I said,
Yeah,
you
This
can
is
have
this
not a
is a
lick of information.
that's a part of the agenda they don't even want you to know is a part of the agenda.
Exactly.
Black or should I say melanated people healing? That's their worst fear. Melanated people
But
doing
listen,
shadow
listen,
work
listen to
is
the
their worst
frequency of the
fear.
music.
that's
The
the
440 hertz. You see
biggest.
what I'm saying? Listen to the music is pushing
Yeah,
black men against men, women against men, women, men against women. It's all the music is about
Yeah.
division and murder.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But check this out though. So now, yeah, that music, yeah, all that shit pushing out though. So the level that we speak on, all that shit elevate, all that shit finna touch on. So
Yeah.
a moment to where nobody else have nothing to listen to. But besides the high vibration of music that we both speak on, until
Hmm.
that level, that's what everybody gonna start reaching on to that level.
And I, and
Now,
I,
Killing, all that doing this and that,
and,
whatever.
and I know we don't really tap it on this type of frequency too often, but family, this things of that nature is something that they keep a close eye on. You might, everybody has this perception of Uncle Sam and who and what the government is, and it's like, oh, he would never. The government could never. Listen, there's whole divisions that's very high clearance that's dedicated to keeping their eye on things like twin flames that they know are twin flames,
Yeah,
or
it just knowing the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate.
and I forget who said it, but somebody said that if you notice, anybody who tries to help people of color on a mass scale immediately becomes a target. And you have to know that at the end of the day, um, and we want to take it deeper, because everybody believes that there's these hidden hands that control us, and that's obviously the case. What they're most afraid of is that you tap into something that they don't have, which is a full soul. A lot of these things that even rule us or control us don't have access to the technology. Because let's be clear, the soul is a technology that not
Yeah,
everyone in the universe or the cosmos has access to. Us being human beings, what we call humans, we are a rare thing that has access to a full soul. So even some of these things that we see higher than ourselves that are these hidden hands, they fear you coming into your true power.
yeah,
They fear you
and they're
realizing what
not.
you really are.
Let me make this clear. They're not higher than us.
They're not,
That
and
is so.
and that's
I don't
and
like using
just to
the
finish.
term.
I was just to finish the point. They don't. They keep a closer eye on things like that than anything else. The liberation of the melanated man or the melanated god and goddess. That's the worst case scenario for some of these people. Them coming on YouTube and hearing a video of King on live with Seven Circles and hearing the stuff they're talking about is an immediate red flag that says like, yeah, whether we gotta mute it, whether we gotta delete the video, we're gonna make sure people don't connect with this
yes,
because that is family. That is the and I don't a lot of people. I'm a '90s guy. I'm a '90s kid, so A Bug's Life was a movie that was popular when I
yeah.
was younger,
I'm a
and
90, little
We
97.
are. We
there's
are. Yeah.
there's a particular scene in that movie. There's a particular scene in that movie where
I know what you're talking about.
the grasshopper, one of the grasshoppers say like, "Oh, boss, like they're just these little ants. Like, why are we
Hmm.
worried about them?" And the grasshopper, he throws one acorn at him. He said, "Did that hurt?" He says, "Nah." He throws another. He said, "Does that hurt?" And then he releases the whole notch and he lets it pile on top of him. He said, "That's why we're on the ants the way we are, because if they realize that they're greater than us in number, it's a wrap for us." And that is family. That's a major, yeah. It's a major thing that happens is them trying to block this wisdom and this light from shining. Because, like King said, listen, if you got a soul, that's the highest technology you can possess. And
Yeah,
some of these higher beings, there's even some gods and some goddesses that fear human beings coming into some information because, they fear that one day they'll have to worship you because as a human, your potential is serious. And I feel like a lot of times we see ourselves as human, as lowly, and as flesh and blood, but we have access to a technology that a lot of people in the universe don't have access to, and that makes us hot commodity. Hot
hey,
commodity.
So let me say this, um, because this is a very area I'm very passionate about, which is the frequency of music, the frequency of the TV shows.
Yeah.
Julio knows I want to do high frequency movies and TV shows, not just music, but infiltrate the whole system.
yeah,
Um, and the reason why they do that, why they infiltrating us, is because of what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? And I was talking to my goddess, and I was like, "Why is there a genre or a different area of music?" So right now, you can create a new type of music within hip hop, and it'll have its own category on Apple Music,
Right.
Spotify,
hmm,
all that. So you got they created drill, then drill music. Now drill got its own category. You got trap. These are all new things. Hip hop is new, but when you come these are new things that just came and just popped up, and they have their own area.
So many
But
dimensions.
but exactly. But the spirit, I can't just go online right now and have a category where it's full of spiritual hip hop or spiritual artists or conscious artists. There's not an
And
area
that's
for
it.
that. You see what I'm
Being
saying?
real,
And so
that's because an idea is more infiltrated and more insidious than the craziest parasite you can think about. King Manifest popping up on that list on Apple and him playing Third Eye, those lyrics alone could activate so many people's curiosity and so many people's consciousness that they're not willing for that ripple effect to take place. You know,
guess
so
what? We got to do it ourselves.
we
And that's
do.
what I'm saying to
That's
say.
what
We
we
got to
gonna
do
do.
it ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that is the goal. So anybody out here that's doing what y'all doing on any type of high vibrational level, we need to unify. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We need to do this ourselves. You know, there's an algorithm fighting against us.
That's a
You see what I'm
fact.
saying? And so I always preach that we need to become the algorithm. Like you
Yeah.
said, we are
We are the
the true.
algorithm. The crazy part is not to
Come
cut
on
you off.
now,
We
exactly.
already are the algorithm.
We are the true Wi-Fi. We are
The
everything that
code.
they have created. The internet is based off of your makeup, your genetic
Yeah.
makeup. You know
We
what I'm
already set
saying?
the standard anyway for music, for style,
Exactly.
for
For
you name it. You know what I'm saying? So like King said, it comes down to realizing that they build these algorithms based off of you anyway. You
yes, sir.
already are the algorithm.
Man, y'all speaking truly facts. And my main thing, what can I say on something when it comes towards that, is that I would love to see more goddesses. I love to see the man, the guys out here, man. Y'all speaking the shit.
Yo, okay, so I'm glad you brought that back up because
Y'all
I'm gonna
come.
tell you, like Sun Goddess brought this up right before we went live when we were behind the stage, and I almost went in because I wanted to go in when she made that statement. And if we're talking about it, you know, I feel like the goddess is the highest reflection of what we would call the Most High or Big
Yeah,
Mama or the Divine, right?
and that's
So
yeah,
so wouldn't it make more sense that they would be on overtime to make sure that the goddesses don't come online? You know, because I
Come on,
really
man.
because what Siobhan is speaking on, I just thought about this earlier today that it's a fact that you see more guys, you know, talking about this stuff in alignment with this stuff, advocating for this stuff, but you don't see too many goddesses at the moment.
mm-hmm.
I do though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It just I ain't
Not,
gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it
but
buck.
not,
It's about your timeline. You know what I'm saying? On my
Yeah,
timeline, and
but
I'll
listen,
put
but
you on.
I follow a lot of conscious people, but it seems like, you know, and this is no diss to the goddess, make no mistake. I'm just saying that this is probably evidence that there's a higher agenda against the goddess because I just see more guys comfortable with stepping into that line when it's the goddess that's the most powerful in that aspect.
yeah,
You
And,
know,
and
once that goddess comes online,
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I agree with the God. Obviously, the power of the goddess, because facts. You know, we are nothing without them. Facts, and that's
mm,
one. But at the same time, I'm not gonna. I'm tapped into a different side of the frequency, maybe, and I have to
respect.
promote that because the goddess is here saying something, and I can give her the insight. You know what I'm saying? There's artists like Lava. There's Jamelia. This is what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna try to say nobody else's name. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna actually post a link of a whole bunch of goddess in the in the Telegram.
yes,
But
indeed. Yeah,
I actually scout music for my goddess.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I like for her to have her own high vibrational music that she listens to. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
deep.
So that's actually what got me on this mission to find these goddess. And
yeah,
then I just find them on Instagram as well. When it comes to our algorithm, there's a lot of goddess out here. I'm like I said, I'm not discrediting that they're not fighting against them because they may not pushing their stuff out like the gods. For sure, I can agree with that. But they, what I would like to see is us be merging together,
yeah.
like how this
Sure.
show is. I love to have a goddess on the show. We have this balance. There's nothing like having this goddess energy on the show.
Yeah.
You know
Nothing.
what I'm saying?
Nothing
Like
like
when
it.
Logical came on, we were so lit because we like this is that energy, this is that balance. You know what I'm saying?
That vibe, that
You
balance,
know,
like you said, number one balance. I
I
want to.
sure.
Oh, I want.
Oshun, they talk about Oshun, they going in right now in the chat. Oshun hard. I love Oshun.
Yeah.
Um, they dropping a few names in the chat right here.
With the
Mm-hmm.
reaches, that one with
Yeah,
the reaches, but
Shut. Mm-hmm.
I want to
you
say it when
know,
I say it in a certain way. When I say it's hard to find goddesses out here. I now coming to a certain level, so I found a little, and I found a little goddesses out here as well. But as going within this process, as me being as myself being a goddess, I found so many just gods that just
But
feed.
that's what's I'm not trying to discredit the goddess, but even not even on social media, but in my everyday life,
Yeah,
it just seems, to be honest, more rare to come in contact with that true divine feminine energy.
yeah. It's
It definitely happens more on social media, and I would say, and I know plenty of goddesses on social media, but
For sure.
where I'm looking for that reflection in real life, like
yeah,
some goddess said, it just seems like I said, like they're working overtime, man, and
like
whatever's going on,
target.
and
Like how you said, how you put it before as well, God. Like they put the goddesses at that standpoint. So when it comes to being targeted, we all get targeted, but the goddesses get targeted most when it comes to.
And honestly, it's a lot of music that kind of make the goddess like they do put y'all against each other on a
Yeah,
egotistical,
yeah.
masculine energy
And
type of way
I'm
as well.
like how King manifest with it as well. I'm all about unity. Fuck segregation. I
Okay.
don't want all that. It's all about bringing us together. That's what matters.
I
Like
say.
they want to put us together, and I realize the true enemy, and the true enemy is the oppressors.
because it's
But
so much. Because and I'm not gonna lie, it reminds.
Proles is have us attack each other. Had the goddesses attack each other. Had the gods attack each other. Have all of us go back and forth in battle and like, okay, this shit easy.
Because
Make
I'm not gonna lie, and when I was in school, when I went to undergrad, it was actually way
Same here.
harder. It was way harder for goddesses to get into Howard than it was for males. As a male, all you had to do was have like a 2.5 GPA, have no type of
mhm.
extracurriculars. For the goddesses, you had to have like a 3.7. You know what I'm saying? When I applied, I got in immediately. My sister applied, she was waitlisted for a while. So
Yeah,
they had a higher scrutiny for the goddesses because way more goddesses were going to school than
hmm
the guys. So it almost became this thing where it was like they were looking at the males like, okay, yeah, like all you got to do is kind of act the part. Come on, we'll get you in. But for the goddess, it was like, no, like we need to heavily scrutinize y'all. And I feel like that goes on in real life where it's like
why the fuck we gotta go to the
they
club?
let the conscious males rock a little bit harder because it's like, man, y'all don't even have the capability of the goddess. We're not really worried about y'all. Y'all can do y'all thing.
But
But
we going to the club though, right? It's a club night. It's a Friday night. Why are the women we first up in the mud? We free.
y'all don't even pay. I'm about to say y'all get in free.
The guys pay up in that mud. We come in free.
So I feel like it's a thing that like the system doesn't even look at the guys anymore like a bigger threat than the goddesses. It's just like, yeah, y'all can go ahead and talk this conscious stuff, but what we can't have is the goddess coming online because when
Yeah.
she does, she's gonna activate the heart space in a whole different way.
That's because there's like we've already talked about. There's nothing more powerful than mama, big mama.
Exactly.
Whenever they really giving that nurturing love, there's nothing more powerful than my goddess. And I wake up and she like great rising. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Or she give me a hug. There's nothing like it.
Facts.
It could
At
be
all.
Yeah.
somebody could give me $1 million right now, and
It's the highest thing in
it
your
wouldn't even
existence.
give me that same type of feeling.
It's the highest
Even
vibe you can feel.
so I'm gonna speak about something I talked about a few episodes ago. I'm gonna talk about the mall situation, and just really just talk about just how they inspire us. You know what I'm saying? We I talked about this kind of yesterday on the podcast as well, but that warrior in us, that whatever that willpower that we have, there's nothing like when you have a goddess to protect, when you have a mama to protect, when you have a
Yeah.
mother that you love. And so
Unless you go out to the
me and
restaurant and they get your order wrong, you don't even want to say nothing. But the goddess with you, she be like, oh no. When he comes back, I'm going in, and it's that.
exactly. So basically, so we at the mall, you know what I'm saying? We getting the crystals from my little sis. This is for before inner child video. I met my little sis flying now. We about to, we lit. I'm getting her a few things. And so boom. And they told me they shooting. So we run to the back. They tell everybody to go to the back of the store. Now keep in mind I do have a firearm, legally. So we go to the back, we there, everybody sitting at the back door. I'm like, go through the door. Y'all tweaking. Why are we just sitting there? You know what I'm saying? Like, this makes no sense. If they shooting, everybody getting shot up at one time. Like, this is dumb. So we get out I'm looking at the masculine energy, and it broke my heart. I'm looking at men hold their babies like they waiting to die. They not, and I'm actually trying to communicate with people to figure out where the exit is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and so, point is, I find the exit. You know what I'm saying? I got my firearm out. We headed out. I'm scoping everything, and just I really take this type of stuff serious. So I study a lot of stuff that people think I'm crazy until we got in that situation. But so we making out. Next thing you know, all these people was following us. You see what I'm saying? And so my goddess, she see this. My point is, we make it to the car. All this, we get to the car. I ask her, "How you doing? You good?" So I'm thinking she about to be crying or something. I'm thinking it's about to. She said, "Nah, baby, I wasn't scared of nothing. I know we was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what the my point is that I don't know why she didn't have fear because she believed in me and the protection that I have, but
Yeah.
I didn't have fear because I was doing it to protect her.
And we feel that. We feel
You see
them
what I'm saying?
and
That was
God.
the only way that I was actually that I made it through that situation was because my purpose, the love, the energy how she was inspiring my heart. You know what I mean? So that's powerful.
That's very deep. Very
Deep.
powerful. Very deep story because a lot of females, we feed off them energy. We know. And then that's why a lot of them they come as we come off as we having a strong intuition. How you know? How you find out this? How you investigate that?
Right.
We know the intuition hit naturally when it comes
Mhm.
to us goddesses.
Yeah.
Same thing, same thing with the guys, but the intuition hit quick, a lot quicker.
A
And
whole
just so
lot
you know,
different.
it's I don't know if you tapped in with the Telegram yet, but tap in with a few goddess. We got goddess on here right now. We got goddess. We are soul tribe. This is
Yeah,
all about connecting. So I didn't really have any guys that I connected with. Like I was kind of out here by myself because I kind of disconnected. I got my brother, but it's not the same. When you did like you said, like-minded people. So I connected with On Point. I connected with with Julio, and then I connected with Rod. I connected with guys, and many other guys that I connected with that I put it out into the universe. I said, I want to connect with my soul tribe. And
yeah,
I made that a part of my affirmations. And slowly but surely these people are coming and y'all still coming. Look at you now. Me and you connected on Instagram. And so don't sleep on social media because right now social media is a tool that we actually have to connect with our soul tribe and to find our soul tribe. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And to actually
Right.
find those peoples that we're supposed
Yeah.
to be merging with to get on certain purpose. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? We're all here to elevate each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm a reflection of you, you're a reflection of me.
Reflections.
So
That's what I
so when I
say.
see you on here today and you like, yo, I'm doing this podcast, I'm getting out my comfort zone. Do you not know all week Julio will tell you my comfort zone, I was getting out of my comfort zone. I haven't spoke to my father in a while, a
Yeah,
long while. And just for me, getting out of my comfort zone and really just analyzing my life and seeing where am I comfortable, where am I blocking myself, where
yeah.
am I trying to be comfortable. Let me get a little uncomfortable. I called my father
You
based
question,
off of, but
you
this was
question.
based off of you. This was based off of you. This is based off of you saying, man, yo, I'm kind of battling this. You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
So I'm just saying we are reflections of each other. And I'm grateful for you.
yeah,
But
I'm
I'm
great.
just saying that there's a reflection for you in Shadow Work Sundays that can reflect back on you as well. A
Yeah,
goddess, a few goddess,
yeah.
I
Fact.
say.
I
And
say.
I'm grateful to even to touch that point. Because sometimes, a lot of people don't even know what type of point, what they reaching on and what they doing while they speaking. You know what I'm saying? So the fact, speaking this moment and what you just said and what God just said, all flowing together, and not realizing while going through this moment, you realize you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's not.
Shit.
We are each other reflection. If you go through this, nigga, I'm gonna go through this shit with you as well. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna feel it. Man, I know. I may go through my little moments and be like, man, those ain't my emotions. This say, cause you know how this shit could play out. We in spiritual warfare at the same time.
Right,
So
right,
it,
right.
it can hit, a little crazy sometimes. You never know, like, okay, now my feelings not what I'm feeling. It's not me. It's not what what I do, but by you saying that, that touch on to so many points, and I really appreciate that
Mm-hmm.
by you even coming
Say.
on, saying that. That's
I say.
it's
Mm-hmm.
deep. Just stepping out your comfort zone runs deep, and just
It
taking
runs
it
deep.
runs deep. All
Really.
it run together. Whatever we talk about, all that shit run together.
Yeah.
For real.
That's very powerful. So for a family that don't know, she's actually here because she's focused on elevation.
Yeah.
She's here because she's focused on her purpose. She's here because she's like, you know what? It's my time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I'm choosing me this time.
Yes, sir.
And so the beautiful part about shadow working in our community, a lot of people say, do as I say, not as I do. And the
Mhm.
people that don't say that, they actually act like that.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to actually, and I'm just showing gratitude to you again, guys, to be an example today, stepping out your comfort zone in real time on live. It's not a recorded, show. And you here and your present, your energy is felt. You are in flow state. You know what I'm saying? You are out of your comfort zone. You
Yeah.
can see it on you, and so, much gratitude
Thank
again.
you so much. Ain't gonna flex. Ain't gonna flex. I'm coming with it. I'm a little. I come off a little emotional. Goddamn. I'm an Aries. I'm an
Yeah,
Aries.
I tap
That
in.
fire.
I'm Aries as well.
I got a lot of Earth
Leo
signs.
Aries.
Yeah. I'm a look. Hey, now I was this close for being a Taurus. I was literally at 11:51. If you want to speak on time, 11:51
Yeah.
p.m. Before I was this close.
You just made that Aries train.
I got a lot of Taurus with me. I got a lot of Taurus
You on
energy.
the cusp.
And having a lot of Taurus, you have a lot of healing energy.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of you earthly. So you go off of whatever, what's your base, your sign coming in.
Yep.
Could be a full blown, I could be a full blown Aries, but I have a lot of Taurus. And I got some water signs, but I got more earth signs.
I say.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off when you come off that spirit, when you come off this, that show you just need to connect with your certain element.
It's funny because a boy of mine a while ago, he pointed my attention to it. My sun, moon, rising, and one other sign. It's all the elements. It's water, air, earth, and fire. And it was random because me, him, and another friend of ours, we all actually had each of the four elements in our major joints. So it's
Yeah,
interesting. It's interesting the elements that you can have in your respective signs and how they interact.
yeah.
You
Can you never
know,
know?
you
I
never
was
know.
Exactly.
a lot of people when a lot of individuals speak on signs. Okay, you could be a fire sign, you could be this, and but you could have so many within your chart.
Yeah,
You could be more. Yeah, you could be
the
a
two could
you could
just be
be more.
interacting with each other.
Yeah, but you could have so many. It's your Earth, your Sun sign, your Moon sign,
Yeah,
your Venus, like your all that.
I
you
ain't
can be
gonna
a whole
lie.
avatar out here.
I have a whole insight
Okay.
on that I'm like, should I go in on this right now? I told you about this, Julio, about the divine matrix, and we all have our divine matrix, and our divine matrix
Yeah,
is made of these 12 wheels, which is actually each zodiac, and that we are actually living in these 12 different realms
Yeah.
as each zodiac, and so we have to master each zodiac actually to
indeed.
fully ascend. Um, and so that's powerful. That even when you deal with a zodiac, say you deal with a Leo or whatever that is, that person that you feel like this that sign that I really can't get along with, that
Hmm.
you're actually dealing with that sign to merge into that sign in the sense of mastering that sign. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Mastering that part of you. So
Uh,
that's very deep that we going in on this.
I
Yeah,
love it.
that's deep.
I
I
say,
love
I say.
it.
So
That's real.
Appreciate that.
That's
So
real deep.
I think this is a good time to go and rock out with the record. We talked about music. We talked about the high vibrational music. Even Logical talked about Isis Wisdom in the chat. That's what she tapped in with for our shadow work.
Oh,
So this is actually a record that I have Isis Wisdom on. And when we was in her chat, this is actually how me and Julio met. Just to
Yeah,
speak on that really quick, Isis Wisdom posted this song in her Telegram, and
uh,
Julio actually played the record on Instagram, and this is how we connected, and this is how we became Soul Tribe. Through this record. So,
yeah.
um,
My phone on 10%, but Tiger. I wanna
okay.
I say, all right, let's tap in.
damn because my ever since I updated my phone, acting crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Because ever since I
Me and you
updated
both, family. Me and
down
you both.
a
No
lot,
facts.
a lot faster.
Yeah, our phone get
So
different.
even if my phone be in the sun, my phone be acting up every single time.
Okay. Cancer, Capricorn.
My third eye's open. I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost.
I can't speak for y'all, but I'm rejoicing that sun. Because that sun, and y'all should be getting as much of it as you possibly can get, because it is putting people online. Spend as much time in that sun as you possibly can. Eat the sun. Eat the sun.
My third eye's open. I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open. I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest. I don't need the fame, I was born with the wealth. They ain't give me nothing, I got it myself. This is that dope and I'm rocking the scales. Channel energy from my life force. Tiger's eye, sunstone and clear course. Raise the vibration, what I'm here for. Connected with my solar plexus, I can feel the source. If I want it, then it's mine, that's a clear choice. Kundalini up the spine as the heat absorb. Forget the phone with a spaceship and real stars. With a spaceship and real stars. One point in time, I ain't had vision. Then I had a vision. Came back with purpose on the mission. Cosmic energy, astrophysics. In line of my chakras, what a feeling.
But spend as much time out in that sun as you possibly can. Because it is transforming us.
My third eye's open. I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open. I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. One in a million like Aaliyah say. My words come with feeling and you feel the bass. Set my intention, let it marinate. Yeah, the vibe dope and it get rid of weight. We come together, we need each other in a special way. Sun gazing, pinot glandy calcification. Sunbathing this neuromelanin activated. Daily affirmations of truth, no affidavit. Shadow work can be a big part of manifestation. I don't want it if it's tainted. And I'm not here to be famous. It's a lot that I came with. I did a lot of explaining. And I talk it how I live it. You don't evolve, then you fall for anything you giving. I'm giving everything that I got and what I'm missing. I'm working on myself, can be my worst critic. Yeah, can be my third eye's open. I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's
Ashe.
amazing. I love the vibe, man.
That's my shit, fam. I'm not gonna lie.
I was in
Much
the zone with
gratitude.
it. I was in the zone with flowing with it a little bit. I love that vibe.
Y'all only
Much
know about
gratitude.
Shadow Work Sundays because of that record, like King says. That's literally how we connected. So
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
say.
powerful. We only here because of that record, man.
And
Okay.
truthfully, that record is only out because Isis Wisdom put it in. So I didn't.
Put it-
I sent her the record in her inbox, and she posted it in her Telegram. So
Yeah.
the universe, I wasn't even gonna put that song out,
Yeah.
but the universe was like, "Nah,
Yeah, man.
it's time to go." It's so
That nigga, you talking about now down there? We gonna put this shit out. Put that shit out now.
yeah, I gotta follow the spirit.
That track,
Man,
manifested
that's
Shadow Work Sundays,
fire.
man.
I feel like I ain't gonna
Yeah.
flex. I feel like I heard that shit before.
That's deep. That's deep.
'Cause I mean,
Much gratitude.
to your shit. I ain't gonna flex.
Mm-hmm.
Much gratitude. Much
You
gratitude.
hit with some different shit. And I fuck with it. That you hit with them like with the sample beats. You know, you tap into the old school vibe.
He got it's the musicality that comes with the content.
That's what I was
I
talking
say.
about. If you got to collab on some shit, goddamn. Okay, you
I
know,
say.
goddamn shit.
My man be talking that sass on the track.
Talking that shit. He don't even know I got there talking that shit.
Oh man, much gratitude. Much gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
For real, man.
So-
Keep on pouring that shit out, man. Which I already know you're gonna do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm cooking up a
Sorry,
lot.
yeah.
I probably have like 10 albums already right now. I'm just waiting on the spirit. I'm releasing everything in due time. Like I said,
Yeah, man.
Hey man, I'm the
you
same
know,
way.
it's all about divine timing. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes,
focused on Shadow Work
sir.
Sundays. This is where my heart is right here, and I push out music whenever I'm supposed to. But right now, well, not right now, but my forever. My focus is going to be Shadow Work Sundays because I'm forever healing, and this Shadow Work Sundays actually elevates my healing. Like Julio said, you know what I'm saying? Like I was doing shadow work before this and I was doing it intentional and I was really on it, of course, for years before Shadow Work Sundays. But when I started doing Shadow Work Sundays, it really became a lifestyle for real. So now that when you're doing shadow work, it almost like brings accountability and puts importance on the spiritual path. So
Mhm.
the fact that when I'm doing shadow work, I'm seeing my elevation and I'm inspired to elevate and I desire to elevate. And when I see certain parts of myself react in certain ways, I don't really look down on myself, but I am like I'm looking at myself like, dang, we better than that.
You could
You
do
know what I'm
better.
saying? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Exactly.
Yeah,
So
facts.
so now I'm in an assessing situation. Like, how can I be in that same situation and react different? And
And
that's not just a mental thing. I have to go within and I have to assess and I have to figure out, what made me react like that. And obviously, the whole process that we actually always talk about. You know, so my point is that the music is coming, and I
I
want to put it out at higher volumes.
express yourself in many different. My apologies. I'm sorry, I got to cut you
Oh
off.
no, you're good.
But you express yourself in many ways. So not only is it musically wise, but then you express yourself when it comes to every shadow work Sunday. You express yourself in so many different ways. It's gonna come off different ways. Either you're gonna catch me musically wise, or you're gonna catch me this way. But
Because we
either,
infiltrating the system.
either way, you don't catch my shit though.
Because you know
You
what?
hear what the fuck I'm saying?
When I can do music for my song, there's 1,000 toxic songs,
Mm,
right? For this podcast, there's 1,000 toxic podcasts.
yeah,
So we're it's a frequency war. So everything that we're doing it to fight against that frequency, but we don't gotta actually fight against it in a way of rage and anger. We actually fight against it with love through that heart space and channel that energy through our passions and emit this frequency throughout the planet and become Christ and become one, and then we become the second Christ, and then we rise and we merge and then we all ascend as Christ did, and then at that moment we are beyond the third, fourth, and the fifth dimension
We
to
become
be,
the ascended
you know,
master.
I love it.
exactly,
I love
exactly.
it. I love the explanation. I love it.
I say.
I love it. And just bring that greatness on. Y'all both doing great things. What
I
y'all love.
say.
I peep y'all for a little minute before everything happens. Like like a manifestation coming on too. It's just like gradually, coming on. Like me and God was saying talk. It was like a gradual. Like I like to conversate with my certain individuals, and then boom, they over know you about to be on my next shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Know that. You know what I'm saying? It's going with the flow of that, man. Y'all doing great progress. Cause like I was telling God, man, that's the hardest point to touch on when it comes to shadow work. It's so it could be so tough in so many ways. And you can do
Right,
shadow
right, right.
It
ways.
can be.
And shadow work could be done in so many ways, even within your music. And that's why I mentioned music, because shadow work could be done within your music, because it's all about you expressing and putting yourself out there. All you gotta do is express your feelings. But
Music and even listening to music can facilitate shadow work. You might hear some
Exactly.
lyrics. You might hear
yeah,
some love song lyrics that is about somebody missing such and such, and they activate why you miss this person that you didn't have the best breakup with, and you just
Bro,
start crying.
I
yeah.
literally have a shadow work playlist.
Yeah,
When I'm going through shadow work, I literally have
music.
a playlist that I listen to during
It's
that
about
time.
Music can be a big
you got
avenue for shadow work. I say it can activate it.
Because music connects with our soul.
it's that frequency,
You see what I'm saying?
it's
Exactly.
hurt
Facts. That frequency.
that,
Yep.
that arose with it, and a lot of individuals, and that's why when I say shadow work is like, 'cause a lot of individuals speak like say it's so many ways you can do shadow work. You could write a little shadow work. Oh, what happened to God?
Now he probably just got us highlighted.
Okay, but
I think he's still in here.
yeah, it happens so many ways. It just like literally just write down like a letter to any individual to where you felt some remorse to or anything like that.
Come
You
on
put
now, you
everything
giving
out.
something powerful.
Any and everything you feel. When I say every emotion, feel every emotion. So if you feel like you got to say fuck you, if you feel like you had to do that, do it
Yeah,
onto that paper. Write it on all onto that paper. Light it on fire.
yeah.
Light that mug on
Knew you was
fire.
coming with that next. Yeah,
That's like a ritual. That's like a spell in a way.
it
Just
is.
let it light that motherfucker on fire and let it loose. Release it. If you
And
feel like
and all that, and like you just said, that's a spell, or
yeah,
I consider spells, because
yeah,
there's a lot of connotations with spells, but that all that is a formula for solving an equation. That's a formula for you expressing your energy and releasing it.
mm,
That's spells can be powerful. Magic is very powerful, and I'm,
it's
I'm glad you highlighted it like that. Yeah,
yes, sir. You completely right, guy. You completely right.
that's just a formula for, like you said, to help you
Yeah,
transmute that energy.
you can explain
It's a
ways and
science.
put it into music.
Yeah,
You feel to express all that shit. Whatever fuck you feel that shit. Express all this. That's your shadow work. Cause you're expressing yourself. And what makes it hard to when it comes to spread, we in a community, we in a society to where it happens so hard to us even to express ourselves. Cause especially when it comes to men. When the guy is like,
allergic to it, basically.
so, so we now you don't express your emotions. You
Yeah,
soft
Mm-hmm.
off.
yeah,
You don't need to be crying. You don't need to be doing none of that.
yeah.
That's how
Speak
much
on it.
society down when especially when it comes to men.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have it to where men they don't want to express themselves. They
Yeah,
so dumb. They don't know when to talk. They don't know when to do this and that because that's how society brought them at. It's like don't
a
express
fact.
And you
yeah
know
you
what's deep?
keyword. I don't want to go too raw.
So I did the freestyle, the Cosmic Love freestyle, and I started it off the certain way for a certain reason to set the tone. Because men are not really, like you said, the guys don't really, that vulnerable place. It seems like that'd be a hard thing, getting to that heart space. Guys be having a lot of information,
Yeah,
but being in that heart space. And so, what one of the lyrics was, just from my heart. I'm not speaking in pride. I'm just saying I know we all cry. You know
Ooh,
what I'm saying? And so, if people take off the male or female aspect of it, and just look at it as a person being a human, this is a human thing. It's
mhm,
not based off of gender. You know what
mm-mm.
I'm saying? Yeah, it's a human thing. You know what I'm saying? We all need to cry because we all feel. Now, if
yeah,
you don't feel, then you have to assess why you don't feel. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because you actually feel something, you just numbing something with other feelings. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And so something else that I want to speak on when it comes to these comfort zones is these addictions that we pick up during the comfort zone.
yeah,
We actually pick up things because we want to stay stimulated.
yeah,
So we pick up these addictions and we start doing these certain things and we become codependent on
Yep.
certain things. So now we're getting out of our comfort zone, but we're also going through a rehab situation where
mm-hmm,
we're having to live without something that we've been dependent on for so long. You know what I mean? And so in that time, don't it's a balanced process. Don't rush the process. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like when they say somebody is drinking. I know people that have been drinking for a long time. If they just cut and stop cold turkey, it might affect their body in a crazy way.
Yeah.
So the
And their
gradually
mind.
in the mind, yep. So gradually, when we're doing shadow work, it's a process. I'm talking all the time. It's an everyday thing. So be patient with self. You know what I'm saying? In this process, don't rush it. Don't overload yourself. Don't put yourself in an overwhelmed place. When you get out your comfort zone, take one foot at a time, like a
yeah,
baby learning how to walk,
yeah,
because that's literally what this process is. You know how the baby fall and stumble, and
yeah,
then but guess what? Sometimes that baby got that wall right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah,
all you need was that wall to keep going, and that baby took 5 more steps.
Yep.
So we have to be okay with that process. You know what I'm saying? And don't rush the process. Getting out your comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone is you loving you. So enjoy it. Don't make it like an uptight process. It's like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Let me try this or let me see about this. Even if it's like me calling my father. Julio will tell you I called him. No, actually we text. And I say, bro, I didn't even get upset, bro. I didn't even, react. That was me showing me I said in the song that, you know, know thyself, so I test me. You know, so as guys and goddess, we test ourselves. So by you getting out of your comfort zone, you are automatically testing yourself. You're
Yeah,
putting yourself in a situation to elevate
And the
immediately.
deepest part is you set it up before you even incarnated.
yeah.
You're just fulfilling what you already set up for yourself.
And I love it for
Exactly.
both of y'all. So I'm speaking to any individual out there who is afraid to speak, like step out of their comfort zone. This is me as myself, as in two other guys right here. That's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
That live off the the moments. You know, we went through some moments,
Follow
and
the heart at
for
all times.
to step out of our comfort zone right now, in so many different levels.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right, right.
Ashe. Ashe,
So let's
ashe.
let's take it back to the inner child for a second.
I love it. Yeah, let's take it
So
back to the inner child. That's when it gets deep.
so exactly, that's where it all started. So your inner child created your first comfort zone, as we spoke about before. When your mother and father ignored you, when you were crying, and when you were trying to communicate, you know what I'm saying, and you just wanted their attention, and you really just you were just, yeah, you were looking for love and you didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? We actually built comfort zones based off of that feeling of neglect. And so I'm just saying how deep it goes into our psychological aspect of our thought, of our everyday habits, of our natural emotions that we know the way that you react without thinking. That
Yeah.
subconscious, it all started with neglect, or not
Yeah.
neglect, because that's with me, that's personal, but I would say it started with the love that we received, you know,
Yeah.
as children,
As
you
as
know,
a child.
exactly.
That's something I could say that my step from as the how I was grew up. And I grew up as in not receiving as too much love when I grew up.
Mm,
I have a lot of daddy issues, a lot of daddy problems, and and that's still into my adulthood. And how much it did within my adulthood to the point to where I started treating men as in he tried to like how he treated individuals, and that's
mm,
them strong because now you putting everything that what you have it healed from onto other individuals that you don't mean to. You know what I'm saying? That could stem
Sheesh,
strong.
ashe.
And then
yeah, I see.
just not even healing from cause like daddy parent issues when they dig into the inner child, that digs deep. That digs so much deep, and a lot of people don't realize how much that can stem to your adulthood. They
Yeah, I
don't
think
realize how
it's
deep that
it's
rolls, and that can
Yeah.
build up to that moment too. You choose to resolve it. And you gonna keep on replaying. It's gonna keep on replaying. It's gonna be like a replay. It's gonna be like Truman Show. It's gonna keep on replaying. A
Mm-hmm.
replay, a replay, a replay, instant replay until you get that shit. And you would know when you really fulfill and when you realize when you actually moved on for something, you realize you're not replaying that same role. That's when you realize.
But yeah, when you know, you
And
that's
know.
deep.
I could say that now only because we in the it's a retrograde. Well, the retrograde just ended the
Just
second.
ended,
What's
yeah,
today?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The retrograde just ended today. So I can only say that because I went through a lot of moments to where this actual specific retrograde I haven't went through so much like it didn't go too bad. It went too deep. Which it shows I resolved a lot of situations. It shows
Mm-hmm.
I moved on. I had no exes hit me up. I have that shit good. Like if you don't have no exes or nobody hit you up, that shit good because that means you resolving. You're not hitting that same repeat of situation. Cause all
Mm.
sometimes situation could be a straight up test. It's come off and just test you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how such and such gonna react to this.
Yep.
Let's see how they gonna move.
Exactly.
Boom. Okay, this how you gonna
Mhm.
move. Okay, boom. And then you gonna hit something else. You know what I'm saying?
So let's speak on that. I'm actually writing a
Mm.
comment. So actually, Julia remind me to speak about the upgrade,
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's what she just made me think about. So right now, I'm actually posting in the chat before I forget. Today is Shadow Work Sundays, Mama. Solar return.
Hey.
So So I'm actually going to post her Cash App right now and put it up here on the screen just in case anybody want to bless her,
Yes,
give her a
indeed.
total return. That's the type of vibes we on. And y'all make sure y'all let us know.
He's got
Subscribe so we
him.
can do the same. But we gotta show love to the mamas. You know, yeah, she been here like you said. She been supporting us throughout her life and being a nurse and her busy life is still coming in and tapping in and healing and supporting
Yeah.
and connecting
Ashe.
with
Peace,
connecting with
goddess.
certain people and like hitting up the tribe on a daily basis, sending personal
Yup.
affirmations and she very beautiful soul. So much gratitude to her.
Peace,
Much
goddess. Peace,
gratitude.
goddess.
Yeah. So oh yeah, the upgrade. So
Oh yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
and basically you talked about people, people coming as an attack basically after you in this certain place. So basically, when was this? Maybe Thursday. I'm not sure. Maybe Thursday, Friday. So I've been in some. Me and Julio really been on some really just elevating and growing and just going to another level spiritually. Just not holding ourselves accountable with anything that we know that we haven't been doing and doing it. And just really just having a desire to grow.
Yeah.
So I go out and I get grounded. I get grounded every day. And just before I say this, um, I'm not sure of the time yet. Let's make it 10 o'clock, 10:10. Let's do this. At 10:10 PST, we will get grounded every Sunday, Shadow Work Sundays on live.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
meet
10
us on
10
live.
a.m.
10:10.
I
Ten
like
ten.
that.
I love that time. That's
I like
perfect.
that.
So let's
That's
let's
perfect.
do that. And so basically I'm out there getting grounded. I'm doing my normal, but I'm going a little deeper. As I said, we getting out my comfort zone. So normally when I'm out there meditating, I still got my ears on. Like I said, I'm a
Hmm.
protector. I really just I'm a person that I'll turn any space. I can be outside of the park. I'll turn it into four walls. You know what I'm saying? Like my God is saying I'm like a hitman or something. I really pay attention to everything.
Tell it
So
like a
you know,
hitman.
but this day I didn't. I went into meditation out. 'Cause normally outside, like I said, I meditate. I meditated outside like I do inside. I
Hmm.
I left. I closed my ears. I didn't care about what was going on around me, the cars, the nothing. And I went within. And as I'm meditating, I'm doing my breath work. And as I'm meditating, I start to see a city underground. And so then I see a city, and then after I see that city, I see like these lines that almost look like the inside of a tree. Like I mean like a tree leaf, like the veins, or like a whole bunch of veins. But it's like a
Yeah.
grid. It's like a grid, but a grid of veins. And it's like a golden ray, like a light golden color. And it's vibrating, like I'm talking about just very vibrant. So I'm seeing this, in my meditation. I'm not on no psychedelics, nothing like that. I'm just mid
Yeah.
meditation. These veins merge into two, like I don't know, like two waves of energy that was like that vibrant yellowish gold, and then like the inside of it was red, and it shot into my feet, and it was just shooting into my feet. And then I thought I was done meditating a little bit after that, and then I was told to go back into meditation and put my hands on the ground. I put my hand. I never did this before. Now I'm out there like a baby crawling around the house with a diaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not thinking
Wow.
about this. I'm fully tapped in. I'm listening to spirit, and I'm
Yeah.
and now so I'm not. But so I'm charging. I'm,
Mm.
I'm doing. What I'm doing. But keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing. This is the power that got us. So I don't know what I'm doing. So I get done. My hands are pink, like a white person. Like I've never seen my hands look like this before ever. Like my hands were pink. Like I didn't know what was going on. And Julio actually exposed that our hand chakras are pink. So I said, that's powerful. Point is, I
Very
come back in
deep.
the
Very
house,
deep.
like 30 minutes later, I get a call from my father. Keep in mind, I had just talked to him, but he's a major trigger. He called me immediately. I hadn't even got a chance to tell my goddess what happened at the park. He called me, on a certain type of energy that wasn't negative, but it wasn't positive.
Yeah.
It was definitely a setup to get me to shift. So,
Yeah.
so I get off the phone, I talk to my goddess, and she was like, "You were attacked because you just got upgraded."
Oh,
And
I love it.
she basically was like, "It's so deep how I hadn't even been able to tell her, what was going on because she was on the phone
Yeah.
with Charles, but he knew all the way over
Oh,
there." And that's how that spiritual warfare worked. So it's just deep how you were speaking on that, how that those distractions and those situations, they pop up so fast, but it's
yeah.
only because we're elevating, we're evolving, we're
Man,
going.
we elevating strong. And I love to touch on that. Cause the craziest thing when I say we all soul family, y'all my soul brothers.
I say,
I
I
say,
say that only because, man, I went through experience like earlier. My god motorcycle ended up catching on fire.
mm,
It was so close to the crib, cause it burnt through the roommate room door.
man,
Yeah, it burnt through everything. So it could potential of this, house burning down, da da da. Fire department coming in. But when you mention the lines, when I looked up at the sky, the clouds were in straight lines.
mm,
Is what I realized. And that was weird when the guy was mentioning, he was talking about when he seen this in straight lines. That's how I literally seen the clouds earlier. It was in straight lines. And it was just line formats. And I was like, damn, this shit running deep. It's like divine protection. It's like divine protection, divine stepped in and protected to what could have been. And I don't like to think about what could have been, what would have been. I always think, try to stay in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? So I want to think, what could have been,
that's deep.
how everything ran, just waking up into, seeing fire. And to knowing, it could have been, this and that, and I looked up and it was straight sky, it was straight lines.
that's deep. That's deep.
And then
Well,
that was a deep run. I knew just seeing that, I was like, yeah, y'all tapping in. Y'all
well,
coming
truthfully,
in, y'all
when
stepping
you
in right on
say
time.
when you say what coulda, we don't live in the past, but we also do
Exactly.
acknowledge the protection of our ancestors.
Yeah,
And
Hmm.
so that's what that was,
I
and that's
say,
and we're being protected all the time, divinely protected,
Yeah.
and certain
yeah,
things are being blocked from us all the time that we don't see,
Yeah.
yeah,
because of who we are and who we are connected to. You know,
Yeah.
this is the power
Exactly.
that we have. It's beautiful.
yeah. It is.
It's a great power to have, just knowing and think about it. It's realize how much a lot of people don't realize how protected they are. And that's another great line, because you could be so much protected, but you don't realize how protected you are. You fear because you fear so much,
Mm-hmm.
and you do that so much, you don't realize how much protection
You don't have
you have
nothing to
around
fear.
you until you truly go within yourself and you tap in.
Right,
You
Mm-hmm.
right.
tap in with your divine, not just you tap in with the divine head honcho ancestors, but tap in with your ancestors that walk with you, within your bloodline.
Yeah,
Tap in with those as well,
I
because
say.
protection is very important as well. Very
that it
important.
is.
A lot of people don't realize, and that come in so deep, and that I could tap in. I could come in a little bit to how ISIS came in with the most self defense. I got to tap in other, if influencers, that come out and talk some stuff.
Right.
She came out strong. She came out strong, and she mentioned how much we need to protect
Mm-hmm.
ourselves.
No, I say.
That's a
I
fact.
say.
Not us to who.
And so
So
much self defense, because it's a process of like a spiritual warfare. So much hitting in at one time. We being attacked for every angle, and we being attacked, especially coming to our dream state. When
Yeah,
it comes, hit
that's
strongest.
real.
We
yeah,
hit, that level. We touch the astrals, and we hit our rest mode, and we start resting as we become attack
yeah.
the most. But
So
then,
something that brother, because obviously, me and Julio talked today about brother Yosef a lot, but brother Yosef is definitely a very powerful God that that we tap in with. But he spoke about putting the egg under
oh,
your bed.
oh yeah,
you know, and that will be powerful to for protection and to really, it's almost like a cleanse, you know what I'm saying, to get rid of certain things that may be attacking you in your dream state.
Yeah.
So and
And the egg is
also
just one big cell. And
you
the
say
egg is
what?
a, I said an egg is literally one big cell.
Oh man,
Exactly.
that
It's like a
attached to
cell.
so many.
It's a cell that you can hold in your hands. You know.
Yeah, the egg attached to so much negative energy is that's the part like egg cleanse. It's egg
Exactly.
cleanse. Like you could literally just take an egg and rub it all over your body.
I
Rub it all
stole
over
the
your
egg under the
body.
bed last night, and I woke up
Yeah,
feeling a little bit more energized and yeah, like some things that got sucked out of me. And I plan on doing it again
yeah,
tonight and for the rest of the week, to be honest.
And
yeah.
also
The egg cleanse deep.
he spoke
Hmm.
about water, putting water under your bed with a clear quartz in it.
Yeah,
That as well, you know. So these are
that's a new
tools,
one.
you know, that actually help, and that actually helps remember your dreams. You know what I'm
What's,
saying?
Yep.
You
it's
remember,
hilarious. Not a conjure, it's hilarious you say that because when I went to put the egg under the bed last night, we had talked about the crystalline water like some weeks ago. So I went under my bed and I found the crystal I put in water at least like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I completely forgot about this thing
right,
under here.
right,
The water was all cloudy. I had to take the crystal, I had to put it in the sun today. I didn't even want to touch the crystal. I'm like, I don't even know what you done soaked up in these last 2 weeks. But
right.
I went
Exactly.
under, I was like, damn, I had this crystal in the water in there the whole time. And I forgot.
Hey
So I had to
Hey,
remove
look,
that, put the egg under there.
logical
man, shit,
one
my
is on it.
all my crystal got stuck in the goddamn
Okay.
hurricane. Shit.
No, that sun guy, I worry about. I
Hey,
don't go nowhere without my sun guy. Like
oh, I
that's
love
my
them crystals. Oh,
favorite.
you got the bracelets on too. This shit's
My,
Oh,
fresh.
yeah.
my sun guy is my favorite crystal. So that's deep that she speak about that. You know.
Oh, I love the crystals. Oh, yeah, I love the
Yeah.
bracelets.
And Shungite, oh, much gratitude, goddess. And Shungite is good for like the EMF protection as well, your phone and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good for that radiation.
Yeah.
Any of
You
those
know,
black stones, yep, it's
yeah,
powerful for that.
Oh, I
you
got to
know,
get me one.
yeah, Shungite.
I got crystal. I actually make crystals myself.
Okay, we gotta tap in. You
Like crystal
know,
necklaces, a little tap in, just a little
Oh yeah,
slight, like too big, but I do it on the side. A lot of people don't know, but I do it on the
nice.
side. I do,
Me and you
I know,
both. I would say
yeah,
I wrap the. I'm real heavy. Well, not heavy, but I'm real fond of wrapping crystals, man.
yeah, just crafting,
It's
do
a
it,
form
yeah,
of meditation to me. Like you gonna let you go out in nature and go to wrap a crystal. The way that you
yeah.
burn with the stone and yeah, and that process is deep, man. That's a yeah,
Crystals are important too. 'Cause that's
super
like
heavy.
a sign. That's a great source of protection.
Yeah,
Touch of crystals,
you know,
depending on the
and
ones you rock with.
I don't know if people know about this or like. So like I got emerald, right? So I have an emerald bracelet, but it's with emerald and the lava, right? So the lava, and this has been working numbers in my life. I spray the lava with frankincense because obviously that's what the lava is for the oils. So I have
Yeah.
a frankincense spray, and I spray it with frankincense. And when I'm doing meditation, I'm getting grounded, or even say I might get a little irritated. I just inhale a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? And it actually like
for
it's
that
calming as
energy.
well. Exactly. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's a powerful tool as well. That is amazing that we can use just throughout everyday life. You know what I mean? Frankincense is amazing. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
y'all if y'all want a real powerful energy cleanser that I got into recently from Brother Yosef actually, but he explained that it came from I guess a guy named Delbert Blair. And it's called like a
Yeah.
orgone blast. And I don't know if you saw this, but
Yeah.
they said you can make a small amount of sea salt and put a little rubbing alcohol on it and burn it. But that this is actually like a nuclear blast to any negative entities or any negative energies that are in your space, and that it has about a 2 mile radius. But if you do that, just know
Yeah. I was going to say, give a
whoever
disclosure.
whoever you bless, spirits and energies can be territorial and they can exist in certain places. Some spirits and energies been in the same place thousands of years. So you do that orgone blast, they gonna come back around trying to figure out who
Oh
blasted them
yeah.
up away from there. But from what it seems, if you got a lot of things going wrong in your life, your money not going right, the relationships, you might have a lot of bad energy in your space or in your house. And I know people who have had energies and entities in their space that would just there with them on a daily basis, influencing their thoughts. So that clearing your space can be very powerful. But that's a real powerful one that That brother
But
Yosef gave.
I will stretch. Do not. That's the last resort
Yeah,
because
nah,
it
that's
is
definitely
something that is very powerful, and there's a cause and effect. It's like everybody want to talk about connecting with the Orishas, but you don't. You better know what you're doing when you connect with the Orishas.
exactly.
So these certain practices are very powerful, certain ancient,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with certain things. So we don't want to do something
I
that's
haven't even. I have
hard.
that specific one. I haven't even done yet because I don't feel a need to do it. I don't feel like there's anything really
Exactly.
Yeah.
affecting me where I just want to go.
Um,
Blast
It's no pressure.
orgone. It's a release of orgone energy is what it is, and like if you don't know, certain orgone and certain energies or light can actually vaporize certain spirits. Like it'll literally make
exactly.
their skin melt. So like King say, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to know that you about to you about to blast some guys back, and they come back like, oh, who did that?
Hey,
Who
shit,
was that?
it better be on that damn level.
But like
For
King
real.
said, if it's a last resort, then you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to
I done seen experience where it came to even with others outside our race will try to tap into the Orishas.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. See, we gotta touch on a little bit of that.
You
Cause
could be R
I done
race.
seen it. I done seen it though.
You could be
But
R race and do it the wrong way, and they
I
on
done
your
seen
tail.
it.
I can't even like
Well,
imagine.
It's
see,
so
I want to
crazy.
speak on it, but it's like that's such an elegant subject because it's a from my experience and what I know, it is about you have to be ordained and not really ordained, but it has to be divine intervention. I'll put it
Yeah.
like that. That's not something that when we study for information, but to be connected to them and know who we are, it's about it's everybody's not connected to everything. I'll put it
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? We are all there's many royal families, and so some people out here trying to force something and gonna get themselves hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so that's I'm just really stretching that because there's a lot. I see a lot online about the Orishas, and that could be a dangerous game if you have an altar with the
Yeah.
Orishas. You're not feeding them and not giving the certain due diligence that you're supposed to do. Those certain type of things have effects.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
it's a
saying?
trend. And now look, what I can see
Exactly.
it's a lot of individuals now that's following a trend. Especially, I
Not
was seeing the biggest will come to a Shun wise. Tap to a Shun, Orisha's period. But someone just come in, just I'm naturally a Shun. You ain't gotta go through a whole process
some
before
men
you
can.
tap in.
Some,
It come a little scary because you never know who you tapping into with. I'm saying individuals top like what I mentioned about the outside races that try to tap into Papa, Lagoon and them getting swiped up, and them getting gone just because okay, you tapping in with the wrong individual, nigga. I don't know you. That's how Papa coming in. I don't know you, especially coming out of different race. That's a whole
you
different
gotta
level.
and
But
listen,
sometimes,
you gotta
even
think
then you could
about
be the
it.
same race. And you not tapped on to it. They gonna be like, nah, nigga, I don't know you. You ain't go through this process. What the
And
fuck you got going on? They
you
coming
gotta
in
think
very
about
much
it.
deep.
You gotta think about it. If you was just chilling and some random person came up to you and they was just like, "Yo, can you bless me with A, B, and C? Da 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 da. Can you do this for me?" And you'd be like, "I don't even know you." They'd be like, "Why would I? I'm not doing all of that." So it's like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these
Yeah.
guys and goddesses are the same way. It's like they don't know you from a can of paint, and they looking like, "Why are
Yeah.
you just here asking this stuff
Yeah,
of me, and
exactly.
you're not giving me, the
It's
respect
a it's a
that I deserve?"
relationship.
Yeah,
You have to respect the ancestors.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Are
something you
you
spoke on King on our call was, there's different aspects to that. So like while you can be calling on the actual Orishas, you can also activate the Orishas that exist within your body. Because as above, so
exactly.
below. So even
Exactly.
all of these Orishas are also processes and energies that exist within the body that you can activate without necessarily,
Yeah.
but just like they are within you, they are still without you, and they are still intelligences that operate outside of you as well. But
Yeah.
That's
um
right.
there's levels to that, man. There's levels.
Facts and love to the shit. Like what Meat Mill say goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to
So
the
look,
shit.
so I want to speak on this as far as the comfort zone and give an example of that negative self talk, like that inner child being oppressed and suppressed, and us growing up, and how that affects us in our life, and us kind of believing in ourselves or knowing that we are who we are. Um, the opposite effect of that is actually loving yourself, is being actually a child that grows up and is very confident, naturally, and is very, just ready to really be themselves to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
and a perfect example, as I was analyzing this, is Kanye West. And so Kanye West is the perfect example because his mother Donda, she knew that he was amazing. No matter what happened, she inspired him. You know what I'm saying? People may look at him like he's crazy, but due to the love that he had in his inner child, he doesn't live in the comfort zone. He lives in being who he is. And it
Mm-hmm.
started with his mother. You know, I look at Miss Donda as like such a iconic, you know, yeah, she wasn't rich, she wasn't famous, she was a teacher, she was a regular person, but she was a community, activist per se, just for love, and unity. But she promoted these certain type of qualities in her son. So now he walks around the world like he can conquer everything, and that's the power of, even me and you right now here. That's the power of us projecting love on each other. That's the power of when you do something great, I'm not hating on you and competing with you. I'm saying, man, that was amazing. That's the power of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of our inner child being uplifted so that we can
Yeah.
walk around with that confidence, and you can actually feel like you can conquer the world. You can do whatever you set your
Yeah.
mind, but that almost sounds stupid to certain adults, because I can go tell somebody right now, I'm gonna go do this. They can say, you crazy. They can say, how? That's impossible. When Julio, kind of put me on to, we know where I'm going, bro. This impossible, the manifestation.
Yeah.
What's his name? Um,
Oh, that's escaping me
with
right now.
with the book and everything. I don't know. I know his name, but point is, everything that we do, the manifestation process is not about what I don't have. It's about the willpower that I have to make it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the beautiful part about getting out the comfort zone. Whenever you have that self love, those affirmations. But I'm
Hmm.
just speaking to you guys because you were speaking about that being projected back on you
Yeah.
from the guys, and I'm saying that it is powerful. It's so powerful that it could actually make you wake up and feel like you can conquer the world.
Really.
Yeah.
And so when we speak of unity and we speak about love and we speak about growth, we can't be out here hating on each other. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We can't be out here gatekeeping. There's a lot of gatekeepers in the spiritual and the conscious community. That's
Oh
a fact.
yeah.
And there is a clout based
System.
attention, where people want to focus on the people with the clout, and not saying that there's not people, good people. We got solid people out here like Brother Rich and people that I really love, and that. But the point is that we have those same people in our tribe, in our close net tribe, that are gatekeeping us from certain areas of life. They got
Yeah.
access. They may know of certain knowledge that could actually help us excel our business. They may know of certain knowledge that can help us heal. They may know of
Yep.
certain knowledge that can help our children
Withholding.
not have to get vaccinated to go to school. They can help us with certain knowledge to help us know how to get an LLC. They have certain knowledge to help us build our credit, but they don't want to teach us because we're gatekeeping. We have all these gatekeepers. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And why they gatekeeping though? Why they gatekeeping, Javon? Because of their comfort zone. They
Mm-hmm.
find a comfort zone in being able to say, "I can do it," and you can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That provides them comfort.
Yep.
So I'm
Yeah.
saying, we gotta. That's a spell. We gotta break that selfish, egotistical gatekeeping spell in our community, so that we
Yeah.
can all grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see what I'm
It's,
saying?
it's all it's all level of growing, and just realize what you know why you growing, what moments. I can speak on something to where when you spoke on to self talk, and I'm gonna run it back a little bit. When you mentioned that in a little way, I grew up in a lot of ways of pure straight self talk. We could self criticize ourselves so much. We literally could blame so much on somebody else when it could be our own self.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just our own energy, what we pouring out. You got so much self talk. You can say I'm this. I'm saying I'm this. I'm slow. I'm stupid. You know, I don't know how to do nothing. I don't that could
The whole nine.
that's a strong hold.
Yeah.
And then that just that strong negative energy that could build a strong attachment towards yourself just by saying the words, because words are vibrations.
Yeah.
I say.
So must definitely be careful what you know what you say within these moments. You know, while saying it within this process. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that, because words matter.
Yeah, we manifest our life through the words that we speak.
Yeah.
That we
I,
do.
I had to touch on just a little bit what you spoke on, because those are spirits I went through, and what just stepping out my comfort zone and just not listening to the words. I went through not listening too much to my mind and just flowing with my body, because your mind, your ego would have you so fucked up, and it would tell you so many things that what you were afraid of, and it would tell you so much things that you don't want to do and you scared to do, but your soul and your heart will tell you, oh nah, this is the right move to make. This is something that you want to do. This nah, you should do to go for it.
Your
Step your
ego's
comfort zone.
your ego's constantly trying to get you to ignore the spirit, because it knows
Yeah,
that as you merge with the spirit, that you're gonna forget about the ego. You're gonna forget about you, which is your ego is like your avatar. So that's you a sun goddess, right?
yeah,
When you get to a certain level of enlightenment, you stop caring
yeah,
about who that person is, and you start aligning with what you actually are. So the ego's constantly trying to it's constantly trying to claim its territory. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
whoa, don't forget about
yeah,
me. I'm here. Like forget about all that spiritual stuff. So that's deep.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
deep.
Cause it always said that side always gonna slide in.
You know what?
Ain't no hiding that. I mean, when it comes to the ego, it's such thing when it comes to ego there, but it's not completely like killing it. It's always gonna be on that
Talk about
side. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's all about balancing it out all together. Now you know your higher self, you know your lower self. As long as you be able to, go through, your lower self with the process you had to go through, you accomplish that, flow with it.
It's a fact.
You gotta build all that together and just going to facing your demons and facing everything that you went through. That's the toughest part.
Mhm.
I want to speak on something that's pretty shocking, but maybe shocking, but our comfort zones can actually create a depression when that comfort zone is not creating comfort.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that
Deep.
area, yeah, it can get real tricky in the comfort zone. And
Yeah.
like I said, if it because at some point the comfort zone is not comfortable. That's what always happens. That's why we end up finding another comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? To
And
find
reaching out
another
to our higher
Hmm.
self.
destination.
Yep.
Exactly. Well, that's because you're not actually happy. Like I said earlier, it's actually a place of escape.
Yep.
Um, it's your escape room. If
Yeah.
you
Yep.
use the analogy of the escape room, right? Like the rooms you can go into right now, and they kind of got like little hints and secrets, and you got to figure out how to get out that room.
Yeah.
You got to use
How
kind
you
of
want
use
to get
the
out?
wits.
How you want to get out that room? I love how you said it, cause that match back to where how you spoke on when it came to addictions. Okay, when a lot of individuals come to towards alcohol, or go towards this to build a distraction and to hide themselves to facing them certain situations. So they try to
Yeah.
hide it with so many different
Things. Yeah.
ways to just distract themselves, and not in a way when it comes to close
That's a
point when it
ploy. That's
comes
a
to
ploy of
possessing.
ego too.
Yeah,
The ego set
you
that
gotta go
all the way up.
within. Yeah, you gotta go within with this shit. Stop looking for like outside sources. Don't look for that aspect. You gotta go within yourself. That's when you're gonna find truly what you need and what you want to do.
Yep.
And how that's what's gonna tell you, because just by you tapping in, you're gonna become so much closer. Well, not just within your ancestors, but within yourself. That's number one, is tapping in, knowing yourself, your higher self. And when you tap into that certain level, then you know how to move. Now you know how to step out comfort zone, what I need to do. But then It could be so many ways. I can say this because I went through experience. It was so many ways it could have you blocked off, even into hearing or just noticing your ancestor and noticing this aspect. Cause you're so afraid of just not, just stepping out your comfort zone or, just doing this and that.
Sure.
So don't just, don't get too clouded within your mind, cause then you can start overthinking. And that mind start, that shit. I go by this Scarface. Happy Transit to a real motherfucker. The hardest got Scarface. That's old. That's a legend on the mug. For real. I fuck with him. Mind playing tricks on you. When he made that song, that's when your mind playing tricks on you. Follow your soul. Don't fuck the other. Your mind start fucking with you. So many ways that when your ego starts speaking, start touching it.
The mind is confusing. Follow the heart.
Yeah.
So look, we're gonna top out at 11:11. This is actually a ritual that we created on Instagram. If we post it at this time, so we got them 11:11s in the chat.
This is the longest we've gone since Instagram.
Oh man, shit,
it is. We had
goddamn.
Instagram, we was going 3 hours. It was getting lit.
We on the road by Paw Patrol.
Much gratitude, family. Peace, love, and light. Until next week, y'all already know the vibe. Not even next week, because we're not even speaking no week, nothing on us. Until the next 7 days, until next Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna rock out. So let's get it.
Sir. Peace,
peace.
You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. High frequencies of sound. It's up and it's stuck. Ain't no coming down. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. Live from the cosmos. High frequencies of sound. It's up and it's stuck. Ain't no coming down. Back to the light, ultralight beaming, I'm passing the sky. The laws of the universe, I do know my rights. Manifestation, I see changes in my life. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. High frequencies of sound. It's up and it's stuck. Ain't no coming down. You know what I'm about. I do this for real. This is not for cloud. Live from the cosmos. High frequencies of sound. It's up and it's stuck. Ain't no coming down. Back to the light, ultralight beaming, I'm passing the sky. The laws of the universe, I do know my rights. Manifestation, I see changes in my life.